know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. But trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, league gon' know this now. You should know the rise. They say 2-1 from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and now it's time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson? Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows, stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no, all day I dream about sports. I think I need some Chateau custom with some Dolphins colors, just to let them know we here. Yeah, I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on the show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on investment. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Damn Marina still a goat. But to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dish shoes that we never ever seen before. Fans up, let it win. Boy, I'm ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Over here. Get some canes over here. We got some canes over here. There go some canes over relax here. And take notes while I step in. Ain't no question. I've been repping. See my squad ballin', that's a blessing. I'm texting with my homies from that West End Zone crew. Say they taking shots, told me roll through. I told you about that orange and green. We click tight, big bites, we destroy your team. Make the world view our games like a horror scene. Stuff opponents in a can like Goya beans. I mean, representing for the team. Love the city though. You can't get connected with us. Check your figure no. Infamous with that swag, it's original. The copycats could copy that, but we go get some more. No gate, no simmer, no. We let it stay, but in this state we is the general. Salute. Coral gave us around the world, we don't have a limit. We rep that youth from the streets to the academics. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here.
All we do, please, is a hurricane. You ain't got that work, you can't serve the canes. I know you been watching, we been hurting things. Where that crown at, homie, we them dirty canes. We gon' get that title, what that purdy ring. Gotta turn over chain for everything. Green and orange on my back, get a foreigner's back. I'm scoring while you roaring like a lion getting shot. ¿Qué pasó, papi? Tú no puedes conmigo. Argentino de principio, huracán en mi equipo. Got the passion like Sebastian when I'm rapping, that's a fact. Got that 7-6 jersey for the legend, one sack, yeah.
It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. canes over here. It's some canes over here. It's some canes over here. Throwing U's up. How we do our thing over here. We got some canes over here and we rock that.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, the Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
You're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D. My voice is a little hoarse last night. I was too busy screaming at the television last night, watching the home run derby. Had a great time watching that last night. Just want to say good morning to my family, my Finlaws. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Hope you're going to help me talk today. I have a great co-host who's going to help me talk today. I'm going to bring him in here in a few minutes to help me talk. But we're going to have a good time today. That's what we're going to do. So I want to give a big shout out to the newest member of the family who signed up, I guess, before we got on the air this morning, my man Chris Johnson. What's good, homie? Welcome to the channel, my guy. Super excited that you're up here. Thank you for joining the channel. I want to give a big shout out this morning to True Fins Fan, Chestnut Checkers, Chef Zhu. Who else we got in here this morning? We got Australia in here, Duke Tomlinson, Chad Marcheroni. I can't say your last name. I hope I said it right. And then Big Time. What's up, Big Time? How's it going, my guy? I got EM. EM, you better get on this morning because I'm going to open up the lines a little bit later. I want you on here this morning, EM. I know you're watching right now. You hear me? You need to come on as a guest this morning. We're going to have a little bit of a panel, and you guys can chat it up with me and my man Wade. Mostly Wade because my voice is pretty much gone this morning, but that's all right. Miami football talk. What's going on? Hey, I got your email, man. I'm going to hit you back. It's been crazy. I got a pretty big announcement that I'm going to make Thursday, hopefully. Again, we're just trying to get these last couple of things locked up. But once that happens, I think we're going to be good. So, I'm super excited to make this announcement whenever we're able to officially make it. I think you guys are going to love it. It's huge. It involves a former Miami Dolphin player. It involves another Miami Dolphins media outlet entity and all of us merging to become one. So I think you guys are going to like it. It's really, really cool. And I'm just going to tease you guys for a week or so. So, hey, let's have some fun with that, right? So, look, I want to remind everybody this morning, if you haven't done so already, which I don't think you have, hit that like button. Go hit it. Go hit it right now. Smack it, tap it, whatever you got to do, hit that like button. Don't be gentle with it. You can smack it up all day, okay? So make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already, okay? So make sure you guys do that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, Chef Zhu, look at Chef Zhu. Chef Zhu's always making sure. Chef Zhu said, Stephen D, also add Big Time to be mod squad, please. All right, I will. Look, see, that's what these guys do. They keep me in check. If you guys become a member of the channel, you also become a moderator. Big Time, you are now a moderator. I'm sure that Chef Zhu can explain a little bit more what comes with that. But hey, look, it's a thing that I guess everybody does on their channel. So I just do what everybody does with that. Look, also want to remind you guys this morning too, okay? We always have goals, right? And part of those goals is let's get to 100 likes. We're at 10 already. Can we get 90 more likes before the morning's over? I think we can. And let's get 25 single donations, okay? Check it out. If you guys donate to the channel today, anything over $5, okay? Any donation over $5, as long as we hit our goal, and our goal today is going to be $60, okay? 5 divided by 60. Guys, do that math, okay? That'll tell you how many donations there are. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That would be 12. 12 donations of $5 or more today. As long as we get that, I'm going to pull a winner out for these DWA shorts, which I think you guys are going to like a lot. I know some of you already have some, or you're in the process of wanting to get some. But look, these DWA shorts, they're fire. And so if you donate anything $5 or more to the channel today, you're going to win some DWA shorts that, again, I think you're going to like. They're pretty cool shorts. I'll show it to you right now. Those bad boys right there on the left. All right, so donate to the channel. When you donate to the channel, it helps the channel grow. All right, and we're trying to do a lot of things here, and we can't do it without your help. So donate to the channel, help the channel grow, and we'll see where we go with that. All right, guys, before we get going any more into that, I also want to remind everybody to sign up to become a member like my man Chris did this morning, right? So when you guys sign up, you become a member of the family. You become a member of the family. You don't get initiated in or anything. It's not that type of club. You just, a lot of love over here at Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. That's what we do here. So look, what in the world? Miami Football Talk with the $25 donation. Shout out to you, big homie. Wow. Man, look, you're going to make me have to go get some honey and some cough drops and get my throat all in check. Make sure I have a good show for you there, big homie. I appreciate the love, man. You know what? You're in. You are in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5 times. You're in 5 times. All right? So, look, we're almost there. Guys, $5 donations or more get you in to the DWA shorts giveaway. And Miami Football Talk's already got 5 entries in. I'm just saying. So, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it big. Chef Zhu says, I got to get those DWA shorts to wear to games all day. All day. Chris Johnson said, nice. Nice. I like it. All right, man. Look, without further ado, I'm leaving my man hanging, who's the co-host with me this morning. This time, he's actually in his basement. He's not on vacation. I hope he has good internet today. And I hope his stuff is charged up. At least that's what he told me, because last week he didn't have it. But without further ado, we're going to bring in one of my best friends, my brother from another mother, my man Wade O from What Would Shula Do. What's up, Wade?
What's going on, everybody?
I don't know, but you might have to host today.
Well, that's fine. I want to take this opportunity to remind everyone you're the one that got us kicked off YouTube last week, not the other way around.
See, that's, you had to throw that out there, Wade. You had to throw that out there, because I was playing. We don't say those names, MLB, around here like that. Yeah, they kicked us off. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Did you watch any? You're not a big baseball fan. I know that. But do you watch like stuff like the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game, even if it's not a big sport that you like?
So weird topic, man. The thing
because that's right. It happened in Denver, right?
Right downtown, yeah. So the weird thing is strangely enough, the sport I watched this weekend that I'm not really into is soccer. Believe it or not, I watched that England-Italy soccer game, and I'm so happy to live in America where we have real sports. After watching that this weekend,
man, boy, you just alienated most of the fan base up here, man.
Don't do that. That's all right.
I got a lot of soccer fans up here.
My stuff's kind of like whiskey. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. I like it.
But no, like in all seriousness, watching it's funny when you watch something like that, like that you're not really up on, right? Because I'm watching flags and whatever the equivalent of penalties are over there, and they're like, it almost seems like
they're called yellow cards. Oh my God, Wade! Oh my God!
But nothing's happening. They're just kind of moving the ball a couple feet and starting over again. And then it was really my takeaway moment was for any of you guys that watched that Europe, Italy, England Euro Cup, I think it's called, near the end of the game. Homie pulled him down by the back of the shirt. He was reminiscent of the play Davante
Guys,
traded in preseason a couple games ago.
If you're listening and you want to replace Wade on Tuesdays, I mean, I might have to fill that spot now. That spot has to be filled. You can't just be coming up here talking about the whatever those things are. They pull out those yellow things.
Hey, listen, I got my DWA shorts. All right, I'm good. I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right. Let me see your shirt, man. What are you wearing?
Oh, you know what? This is the old Finsider. You know, this will get us kicked off for sure. This is weapon imagery or something.
Weapon imagery. See, look at you, man. Don't be doing that. God, can't take you nowhere. I can't even. Yeah, Duke Tomlinson read a red card. We're gonna have to kick you out.
It's like the NBA. I get too many and I can't finish the series.
Speaking of which, man, the Phoenix Suns are up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Things are going exactly how I said they would. Any thoughts on the NBA Finals?
The Bucks.
I said Phoenix in 5.
The Bucks looked really good 2 nights ago, though. That was Phoenix's biggest loss of the playoffs. But
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, Phoenix is looking good, man. Phoenix is looking good.
They look really good. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday night for Game 4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see, man. Like I said, I would still love to see Milwaukee take it, but Phoenix is looking like all around the better team. But they're only up 1 game.
Mike Sensabaugh said, "Soccer is boring. Maybe if I played as a kid or my kids, I might have a different attitude, but I don't." Well, Mike Sensabaugh, I guess you have Wade. You have a fan in Mike Sensabaugh. You and Mike share the same.
Listen, if you lived in a country without air conditioning and you had to run around till you were exhausted so you could go to sleep, soccer would be a great option. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness! All right. Anyways, what else can we talk about before we get into some Dolphin chat this morning? Did you watch the UFC fights this weekend?
I did, man. Listen, I'm gonna start this off the right way. I've never been a fan of McGregor. I've never liked the guy. So this isn't though said with like coming from a certain angle, but I mean he's got to be done at this point, right? Like he had the suspension.
No, he's not.
He had that suspension.
Dana White was in the press conference, very adamant that there's going to be a Poirier McGregor 4.
Why? I mean, listen,
because that fight was not over.
You can keep putting him in the ring, bro. But McGregor's done, man. He's done.
No, he's not.
When's the last time he beat a reputable opponent? 4 years ago?
He's going to come back. He's going to come back.
Come on.
Gorilla Luke's in the building. What's up, Gorilla Luke?
Gorilla Luke. Yeah, here's the problem with fighting, man. Fighting is not like some of these other sports where you can have a down year and come back. But a lot of these guys, once they start that downward spiral, it goes fast and quick. Now, there's always exceptions, right? Like, obviously Ali, he was out for a couple of years, all of this stuff. But McGregor, I've never thought he was that good of a fighter to begin with. Like I said, he hasn't won a reputable fight in 4 years. Man.
Like McGregor was one of the best.
No, man, listen, he was in a lightweight class. He had no ground game.
The man held 2 belts at one time, bro.
I feel you, but not for long. That was a long time ago. All I'm saying is when you talk
a real long time ago. I hit the spell show on you there.
When you talk about the greats, you talk about guys like Matt Hughes and Chuck Liddell and John Jones. His name's never going to be in that conversation, man.
Look, John Jones is the GOAT as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. I got you. I understand. I just disagree. But we did all that talk yesterday. Some other big news that came out is Joseph Bryan puts Team USA basketball preparing for the Olympics over in Tokyo, which I want to say starts in 10 or 11 days, something like that. But they lost to Nigeria a few days ago and had their second exhibition game. And lost again to Australia. Do you take any tops? What is that noise in the background there?
Ain't talking for me.
Yeah. There you go. You guys don't hear that? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Anyways, it sounded like a toilet flushing is what it sounded like.
Oh, no. Ain't nobody awake over here, man. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Oh, man. Anyways, what I wanted to say was, do you take any stock into them losing 2 straight exhibition games to start out? I mean, you got to realize there was a point in the world where USA basketball was dominant and overtook everybody. And now
I wear my Charles Barkley Dream Team jersey every 4th of July, brother. No.
I'm not your kid's role model.
2 things, right? So the first one when it comes to USA basketball team is look at the roster. Like, if anyone thinks this is the best that USA has to offer, you're crazy. I mean, most of the top players aren't even playing, and there's a lot of reasons for that, right? Injuries. My guy Ben Simmons can't play. You got to go work on the shot. All this other stuff. But no, I'm not. We're talking. In the words of Iverson, we're talking about practice, man.
We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game,
games, bro. These are preseason games. Like I just, it's not the best team we could put forward. And the guys that are playing that did play out the whole season, didn't have injuries and all, like they just got there. I'm not worried about it, dude. I mean, in the end, even if we don't win the gold this year, do I think there's another team in the world better than us at basketball? No. Like, all the best players continue to come here. You know what I mean? Like, it happens every year. Like, the best players in the world want to come here. And in fact, if you go back to the Dream Team, the 92 team, the only team that stood a chance was, that whole block of the Yugoslavia countries. And as soon as the Olympics were over, all those players left and came here. Drazen Petric, Tony Kukoc, Vlade Divac, all those guys came and joined the NBA. Like, that's what they do. So, I don't think it's that serious, man. I think we'll have a good run in the Olympics of basketball, just like we do every year. Once the team gets a little more competitive and competent. Like, you got to remember, most of these guys are playing with each other, as a new thing. Whereas these other teams, they play together. That's what they do. You know what I mean? That's their team. So they just need a little bit of time to flush.
Miami Football Talk. I just put the link in the chat box for the join the channel. I apologize that it is you were having trouble with it. I'm going to have to get that fixed. Matter of fact, I'll do it right here while I have you on. Paste. There we go. Save changes. All right. I changed it there, Miami Football Talk. So in the description now, it's changed too. See, look at me doing editing right as we're live. See, that's what I do here. Trying to make people happy. And join and become a member of the family. All right, man. Look, I mean, I don't think there's really any other big news out there from a sports standpoint. The Olympics are going to start up here soon. I am going to do a little bit of Olympic talk whenever the Olympics start, just because I love the Summer Olympics. But, I mean, is there any other thing outside of the Miami Dolphins, because I know that's what people want to talk about this morning, that you're kind of interested in? I know your Sixers aren't in it anymore. I don't want to bring up those bad memories from earlier.
Not really, man. I mean, there's a couple, other NFL things I'm keeping my eye on, but kind of like you said,
what?
right?
Talk to me.
Like the Chandler Jones situation, Stephon Gilmore situation. I'm not one that trolls over quarterbacks, but the Aaron Rodgers situation. I think it would be really interesting to see Aaron Rodgers end up on another team and finish out his career. I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen. I will say that, like, of the names I just mentioned, all the guys that are kind of holding out, I think he may be the one that makes the most sense to try to trade right now. But that doesn't mean Green Bay is going to do it. But no.
What about Stephon Gilmore?
All right. So here's the problem with Gilmore. We don't really know how good he is right now. Like, he had a very bad year last year. Right, he did not play well, and honestly, the year before that, I don't know how he won that Defensive Player of the Year award, because he didn't play that well. Like, everybody remembers Devontae Parker, like 130 something yards on him last week of the season.
They did. Yep.
I think he was really kind of overhyped last year, and having J.C. Jackson across from him helps. For those of you that don't know, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm pretty sure J.C. Jackson is number 2 in the league in interceptions over the last couple of years behind X, but you look at, like, what happened to the Patriots defense last year with all the COVID opt-outs, especially, like, some guys that have been there for a long time, like Deontay Hightower. And I'm kind of curious, like, has Gilmore been what Gilmore's been because the front seven in New England has been so good? I mean, they've had a very good front seven for many years. Everyone remembers Super Bowl against the Rams the other year. They held the best offense in football to 3 points. I don't know what the market is for Gilmore right now. He's a little older. He wants more money, despite the fact that he had a down year last year. I don't know if anyone's going to offer the Patriots anything worth taking. Now, Belichick historically will take it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't necessarily hold out. Chandler Jones, I think he got like a second-round pick. Like, it's not like he necessarily holds out for these huge deals to move some of these players. I don't know if anyone's offering anything worth taking for Gilmore, especially because you still have like Richard Sherman out there in free agency who you could sign for nothing.
For a bag of chips. By the way, I found out what that noise was. It was my Amazon, I don't want to say her name, alarm going off in the background of my room. And I'm deaf out of my left ear for people who don't know. So I have the ear thing, my headphone on my right side, so I literally wasn't hearing it, and the thing was like super loud. And I'm like, there is background noise coming from somewhere. And Wade is adamant it is not coming from him. And why would Wade ever lie to me? So, I think I did my detective work and I got to the bottom of it. No,
Inspector Gadget.
Nothing. Inspector Gadget over here. All right, man. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's get into the Dolphin chat because I know that's what people want to do today. And that's what we're going to spend our morning on talking about today with a little bit of Dolphin chat. And we are back live on Miami Sports Music's #1 morning show. Look, that would be Clock Blockers. I am your host, Stephen D. Alongside me today, I have a really good friend of mine. Well, I don't know if he claims it the same way as I do, but I claim it because he's a pretty awesome guy. I'm talking about my man, Wade O from What Would Shula Do. You got another podcast coming out here soon, right?
Yes, sir. I don't know how good I am at anything, let alone being a friend, but I'm trying my best.
Dude, when I came out a few weeks ago and you picked me up from the airport and then you took me to that Korean barbecue spot, I'm just saying, you know the way to a man's heart? Through his stomach, and you definitely did that, big guy. I'm just saying. I
got to get you fattened up, bro. We might need you on the O-line in a couple of weeks.
I like it. Hey, want to give a big shout out to Miami Football Talk becoming the new US YouTube member of the channel. Look, that's 2 this morning, baby. Can we get 5 new members to the channel this morning? It looks like Duke Tomlinson wants to become a member all the way on out in Australia. I know he wants to become a member, right? My man, Miami Football Talk just signed up to be DWA loyalty all day. So I appreciate that, man. I'm super excited about that. Now I got to make you moderator. Now you're a moderator. Awesome. Like it. Okay, let's see here. Miami Football Talk. Let's get going. I put in the chat here, guys, the link to StreamYard for you guys to get on this morning. I want you guys to come on. I want you to ask your questions to Wade and myself. This morning is your show. I definitely want to talk to you guys about that. All right, at Dolphin Chat, what happens to Nick Needham?
I just saw that. So I don't know. That's a great, some of the more underrated all-season moves that a lot of people aren't talking about was, we did bring in Justin Coleman, who played, in my opinion, pretty well for Detroit last year. And we also brought in Jason McCourty. So there's some extra pieces back there in the secondary that I think some people forget about. But here's the issue. Our 3 best corners are going to be, hopefully, Byron Jones, and Noah Igbinoghene. The problem is none of those dudes are really built to play the nickel position. So that's where Coleman and Needham are going to come in. Something tells me that I think Coleman's going to earn the nod over Needham for that nickel job. And I'm not sure if Needham honestly even plays for us this year based on how many D-backs we're going to carry. I mean, remember, we only brought him back on that RFA thing. It's a one-year thing. He's not making a ton of money. McCourty, I think, is going to more help out in the secondary, and we'll see how well he plays. I mean, I think he could maybe cut in a little bit to Eric Rowe's playing time after Javon Holland kind of establishes himself, but I'm not sure how many snaps you see from Nick Needham this year if he's on the team.
Dude, this is my thoughts of Nick Needham. I think Nick Needham, when the next man up is said, he does step up, right? He's got his weaknesses, but he's a great fill-in, and he'll give you a game or two of elite play. I don't think he can be a starter every game out of the season, but he's good when he needs to come in. He reminds me a lot of Michael Thomas for some reason. And, you know, I look at that and I want to see him on this team. I think he has a spot on this team. I think he's a great locker room guy, but I don't know because of the depth if he stays on this team, because he's one of those guys that's on the bubble, right? And look, this is my wife coming in. Oh, my wife. Look, everybody say hello to my wife. You know how great my wife is? My wife is listening to the show and brought me some hot tea with some lemon and honey in it. And some cough drops. Guys, she's the real MVP. That's all I'm going to say. Wade, you take over wide sip on this.
No, go ahead, have it. I just want to look at a few of these guys. So Joseph down here said Needham played really well in the nickel last year. So this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, he did okay in the nickel. I wouldn't say he did very well. If you go look at, you know, I'm a big PFF guy. His overall PFF grade last year was 49.7, which for those of you that don't follow those numbers, that's really awful. And for Mike down here, he's talking about who's going to replace Eric Rowe. I don't know, and that's an issue. Like, if you go back and listen to a lot of the stuff I was saying on what we should do shows before the draft and during free agency, I said we really needed to upgrade both safety positions, and we didn't. We brought in, you know, we obviously drafted Javon Holland. He became Bobby McCain's day one replacement, right? We cut McCain.
Javon Holland starting
2 days later. Yeah, I know. I'm a Holland fan. I love the move for Holland, but we really didn't do anything to replace Rowe. McCourty's there, and McCourty can help. They can take some of those snaps away, but we haven't found a full-time replacement. In my opinion, outside of the debacle we got going on at running back, center and then Eric Rowe are our two biggest liabilities on the roster right now.
What about, you know, Mike Sensabaugh actually brings up a good question. Who's going to replace Eric Rowe?
That's what I was kind of referring to. Brandon Jones is going to get a chance. I don't know if he earns it. Like, I could very well see next season we have a completely different strong safety on the roster slated to start. I think if Brandon Jones was good enough to take Eric Rowe's job right now, Eric Rowe would not be on the roster, just like Bobby McCain is
I
no
agree.
longer on the roster. So I think they're nervous about that. I think Brandon Jones is going to get a chance once again. I think he had a chance last year. And obviously, you know, last year was a weird thing, right? COVID, no practices, all that. So I'm not knocking Brandon Jones. Yeah, I think he's coming along nicely, but I could very well see if Jones does not step up and take the job next year. Jones is still on the roster, Rowe's not, but we have someone else from the draft or free agency to fill that role.
Guys, this is the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. I have Wade O with me. Wade, if you guys want to get on and talk with him while I sip on my tea this morning and try to clear my palate and my throat, I want to have you guys on. You guys can talk about anything on Dolphin Chat this morning. This show is your show this morning, so I'm opening the lines up for you. Come on, let's talk. Let's get 3 or 4 people, 5 or 6 people. Let's have a nice panel, and let's have some discussion. So, Ryan AP, Brandon Jones should be his future replacement. Like it. Chef Zhu agrees with you, Wade, just so you know.
Thanks, Chef. Thanks.
See, the shout out to the chef. All right, here's another question for you. What about the linebacker position? Who's the odd man out in the linebacker room? Because there's going to be somebody that's on that linebacking core right now that's not going to make this team.
Are we talking about inside or outside?
I mean, here's the reality of the situation. I know Jalen Phillips, I don't think he's an outside linebacker. I think he's a defensive end, but I don't think that matters in this defense, right? So you got to look at him like a linebacker. So because of that, somebody else is getting pushed down that linebacker spot. Would you agree?
So here's how I look at it, right? Like I we'll see if he can make the transition outside linebacker. Like some guys historically struggle with it. I don't think he's one of them. I think his build and his skill set are going to kind of allow him to do that. He's got a unique size. Like my bigger concern with him is the injuries. So if we're talking about all four, right, like the current roster right now, I'm just going to read it off to everybody. So we got Jerome Baker, Vince Beagle's back, Sam Guabin, I always screw up his name, Kylan Johnson, Bernard McKinney, Calvin Munson, he'll be gone, Jalen Phillips, Duke Riley, Elon Roberts, Brennan Scarlett, and Van Ginkel. So go ahead, Steve.
Joseph Bryan says, I'm appalled that you guys think Noah is this team's third best corner. He's showing nothing to indicate. You're just going off the fact he's expected to make a leap.
No. Noah outplayed Needham last year. I mean, he did. Like, Needham's – here's the difference. In the beginning of the year, we threw Noah on the field with, again, no OTAs, no training camp. Like, he literally was a day one starter because Byron Jones was hurt. And it was, I think, 3 games he started or 4 games. And of those games, he lined up against dudes like Stephon Diggs. And, so everyone remembers, he struggled the first couple games, as any rookie would when you start them in that situation. But later on down the line, we did something I really disagreed with. And we tried to shove Noah into the nickel, and he's not that guy.
And he's not a nickel. He's not in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all. And he played a little bit of snaps at safety, which I originally thought when we took him last year, we might be trying to convert him into a free safety because we all knew Bobby McKeon had to go. So in terms of coverage, especially on the outside, like just get a kid a minute. All right. Trust me. I'm not worried about Noah. I think he's going to turn out to be one of the better picks we've made in the last couple of years. Anyways, just even back to your question, I think Beagle does make the roster. And for those of you who don't know, Beagle was a guy that missed like the entire year last year. He came on rotationally for us prior to that. He's a good inside guy. We brought back Elon Roberts, which honestly I was surprised we did.
Me too, especially after Kyle Van Noy leaving. I was very surprised that Elon Roberts was still on the team.
Well, so Roberts is definitely a middle. He's going to play in the middle, right? And don't forget, like, we let him walk and then brought him back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he was in our initial plans. I think he's more of a depth guy than anything. My concern right now is really who's going to be in the middle. And here's why I say that. McKinley's going to have one of those spots, right? He's a multi-time Pro Bowler. We traded to bring him in. I really think Baker should be outside on the right. And Phillips, I think Phillips hopefully gets the nod to start outside on the left. I'd love to see him get the nod to start outside on the left, but he may be rotating with like Van Ginkel, let's say. Right? So we need a couple of those guys in the middle. And don't forget, like Emmanuel Ogbo, we can stand him up and put him outside in some blitz packages and stuff like that. It's not going to be every time. But we can do a package where we put like, Raekwon, Christian Wilkins, and let's say Sealer in the middle or something like that, or Butler in the middle, and stand up Agba. Sorry, I'm brain dead this morning. But I think we need a couple of guys in the middle to help against the run, especially some guys that can spy against these running quarterbacks, because that seems to be what kills us. So the 3 or 4 guys I think should be active on the roster that can go in there. I mean, besides Baker can obviously go in there. But it's going to be McKinley. I think it's going to be Brennan, the other Texans linebacker we brought in. I think Beagle's going to be there. And then I think Elon Roberts probably squeezes in there. Or Duke Riley. I mean, Duke Riley could do it too. Duke Riley could take Elon Roberts' job.
Brennan Scarlett doesn't make the team?
Yeah, no, I said Scarlett. I said it.
Okay. All right, well, look, if you guys are watching right now, thank you for watching. This is Miami Fans' #1 fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I'm Stephen D. This is Wade O. I really want to get you guys on Dolphin Chat this morning. I'm putting in the link, I'm putting in the chat post, the link to StreamYard for you guys to come on. I want to see your face. I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts are on the Miami Dolphins season and whatever questions you have for myself or Wade as we get going into Dolphin Chat today. This is your show. This is a show for you. As my man Miami Football Talk says, also hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button already, what are you doing? Let's go. There's 35 of y'all watching. We only got 19 likes. Hit that like button. Wait, tell them to smack it.
Dude, get like a hammer. Obviously, don't try to damage your computer because you're going to blame and say I told you to do it. But do whatever you got to do.
Miami Sports Music Podcast Network takes no responsibility for you taking a hammer to your keyboard. All right. I like it. Anyways, all right. Let me ask you something now. So you're looking at the defense. If Xavier Howard does leave, what does this defense look like as far as top 10 in the NFL?
Could they get there? Maybe. I mean, let's be very clear about something. We did not have a top 10 defense last year. Right? We didn't. So we had a great scoring defense, right? Our overall defense was not astonishing. Like, it was not a top unit in the league. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for us to get to top 10 just as it is. I mean, that's a big goal for any team. If both our corners are healthy all year and we don't have injuries and all this other stuff, can it happen? I think so. We got a softer schedule this year for sure. Mm-hmm. The thing that's going to throw us off, and I just mentioned this a couple minutes ago, is we play some good running quarterbacks. I mean, just off the top of my head, Josh
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Like,
Jameis Winston.
You mean Taysom Hill? Jameis ain't starting out there, bro. Jameis ain't starting out there. But Taysom, I mean, you bring up a good point, though. Like, Taysom Hill's a good running quarterback, and if Jameis Winston's the quarterback, don't think Taysom Hill ain't going to be on the field doing something else.
I mean, he's going to play that package too, right?
Right.
And you look at Mac Jones or Cam Newton, right? Either one, they both run decently.
Which, by the way, here's a weird stat for you. With guys like LaShawn McCoy and Adrian Peterson not actually in rosters right now, Cam Newton is the NFL's current rushing touchdown leader.
Say that one more time, because I don't think I quite heard you correctly.
So there's a couple guys that are still technically active that are not on teams right now, like LaShawn McCoy and Adrian Peterson. But with those guys not signed to teams, Cam Newton is the NFL's active rushing touchdown leader.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So
things you don't know.
See,
look at what you learn here on Clock Blockers with Wade. But that's a weird stat. And if you had given me 10 guesses, I never would have gotten that. Like, you would have been picked 180 of that. Does Adrian Peterson make a team?
No, not currently.
No, I'm saying, do you think he does? Do you think he ends up on a roster this year? And do you think Frank Gore ends up on a roster too?
Maybe there's a shot that, like, later in the season someone grabs it. Do I think they go into training camp with a team? I don't. I mean, a lot of teams have the running back position figured out, and the ones that don't, they would have reached out to some of these guys already if they had much left in the tank. I mean,
I agree, but I want to see Frank Gore do it. I want to see Frank Gore do it because I want him to play with his son in the NFL.
I don't see it happening, man.
I know, but just 2 more years, Wade. That's it. We just got to wait 2 more years.
Look at Cameron. So, all right. Well, listen. To answer your question just initially, I think it's hard for any team to maintain a top 10 defense. Like, if you look at, like, on paper, the best talent is probably the Rams and the Bears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And outside of them, I don't know, has any team been like, I mean, and the Rams have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. They just got rid of John Johnson, who I think is one of the more underrated safeties in the NFL. And don't sleep on that kid. And I'm drawing a blank right now. Sorry, it's 7:15 in the morning. But the corner that plays across from Jalen Ramsey, I think it's like Darius Williams or something. He's really good too. Like, so you look at some of those defenses, and, like, even for them, it's hard to continue to be like a top 5 defense, right? Like, so I think we can be a top 10 unit this year. I think we should be with X. Without X, that's tough, man. Because one of the things that you don't ever want to talk about, but let's just say it, we were a really healthy defense last year. And Gene, I'm in Colorado.
Hey,
So
real quick, I got to interrupt. My wife put something. All right, this is how smart my wife is, guys. I need y'all to know this. An improved pass rush that can make stops in the backfield will take the pressure off the corners.
100%. But we had that last year. Like,
guys, y'all see who I'm married a genius.
So listen, we got crushed by tight ends and running backs out of the backfield and running quarterbacks last year, though. You know what I mean? With the exception of when the Bills just were the Bills to us. But yeah, like with X, can we be top 10? Absolutely. I see it, especially with the roster and teams we're playing. But we got to be healthy.
think we're top 5 with X, man. I truly believe that.
We can be, but again, we got to be healthy. Like Byron Jones missed the start of the
but
season last year, right?
For the first time ever.
Yes, but listen, bro, that can go away quick. Like, we all know that. Like, Joe Flacco got the starting job because 3 quarterbacks ahead of him went down in training camp. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. That's true. I mean, I'll give you that.
Think about this. Let's say we trade X, and then Byron Jones gets hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, do we have depth at corner?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say, even
our
we
don't have
right
as
now,
much.
Right, but even our line right now, this I know we're talking about defense.
But then it goes into play of Needham makes the team. Automatically.
Sherman might make the team then. Trade X.
Hey,
if we traded X for like 2 firsts or something like that and didn't get another,
that's not happening.
I'm just saying. Then maybe we go sign a guy like Sherman. You know what I mean? Like, man, there's different ways we can approach it.
Yeah, but we already have Richard Sherman. We have Jason McCourty. We have a veteran.
I feel you.
I just don't see us needing.
Let me use a different example then. Let's say Agba tears his ACL right now. Then that Melvin Ingram.
Don't you wish that evil upon us?
I'm not wishing it. I'm trying to explain.
Come on.
My point is, bro. Yes, with X right now, I agree. I think we can be top 10. I think we could potentially be top 5. However, one big injury can change that so much. Imagine if we didn't have Raekwon McMillan right now. Seriously.
It would not be a good look.
It would. Imagine if we didn't have Jerome Baker right now. Like, do we have other players that can put this? I think we do. Baker's quietly one of the best linebackers in the league. And without him, we'd be in a world of hurt. You know what I mean? Just like, for those of you to remember, we had a really good run defense, and then we had a run defense, and then it got a little worse. And then we were like 22nd in the league that one year, and we decided to trade Ndamukong Suh or cut Ndamukong Suh, who was our best run defender in our defense. And then all of a sudden we had one of the worst run defenses in the league. Like, that one player can make a difference.
All right, anybody who's watching right now, I put in the chat the link to StreamYard. Come on. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. I want to get a few different people on here at the same time. We have a brand new guest and a new member to the channel, Miami Football Talk. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How are you?
All right, living the life, living the dream.
Hey, man, welcome to the family, man. I'm excited that you're here.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys accepting me.
Hey, man, no other. You've been very loyal, especially over the last few weeks. You've been on here like hotcakes, man.
Hey, man, I support it.
All right, so what do you want to talk about, man? The floor is yours, my friend.
So I did a little research, and I found out that Miami signed an offensive tackle. Jermaine Elamnor. I butchered that completely.
Yeah, I can't say his name here.
Yeah, I butchered that.
We brought him in right around the same time as DJ Fluker.
And what do you guys think about that?
Well, first I want to say, Ty, I don't know where Scott would be. He's right. I'm sorry, man. It's 7-something in the morning over here, right? I said Raekwon.
By the way, just so everybody knows, he's in Denver. That's why it's 7 in the morning.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, as far as Jermaine, we're going to carry 7 offensive linemen. All right, so we're going to start every game. We're going to dress 7 offensive linemen. So I think we all think they're going to be probably Skura, right? He's the only true center on the team. And then outside of that, it's going to be the guys we talked about. It's going to be Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg. I already said Skura, right? So those are 5. And then we're going to dress 2 more. So,
Eichenberg starts week 1, by the way.
I hope so. So all the others too. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
Well, I was going to say, of the other two, like, there's Jesse Davis is a possibility, and don't jump on me yet. I know none of us are really a huge fan of Jesse Davis, but the one thing he has going for him is he can play mostly every position on the line. He can't play some of them very well, but he can play them. DJ Fluker is the veteran presence. I mean, I don't know if Jermaine makes it to the active roster.
I agree. I think he's more going to be something, maybe practice squad, something more for depth or something like that. Because I wrote down some stats. He played, and you know what? I feel like Flo keeps bringing in people from New England.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of those guys weren't necessarily career guys in New England either, right? A lot of those were veterans that were brought in, from other places too. But he's also shown he's willing to get rid of them if they don't, handle their business. Look at Kyle Vanoy.
Right.
Look at Ted Karras.
Very true. Very true. Now, I got another question for you. Have you guys watched any film on Hunt?
Yeah. I mean, I watched film when we drafted him.
Do you see him as a possible Pro Bowler?
So Hunt, believe it or not, by PFF is actually our highest rated offensive lineman last year. So
was he really? Wow.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal. If you're watching film on him, he is.
I love
phenomenal.
him. I just didn't think he was rated that high.
I think he's going to fit in much better at the guard position than at the tackle position. I mean, look, last year we did a lot of stuff we were doing just to see what we had, right? Because when you have that many young offensive linemen or guys that are on the team for the first time, you kind of have to, right? You bring a guy like Eric Flowers in, he's going to play his position in the right. Some of these other guys, you want to see what he got. And we made the announcement pretty quickly that we were moving him to right guard after we got rid of Kinley. Or not Kinley. After we moved Kinley to left guard, we got rid of Flowers. So we made that announcement almost the exact same time. Like it was almost like, hey, Flowers is gone. By the way, Kinley's playing left guard now. By the way, we're going to move on to right guard. So I think the Liam Eichenberg pick is going to help that a lot. And I mean, I think when he's playing next to Liam Eichenberg, him at right guard playing next to Liam Eichenberg at right tackle is going to be something having him better on the right side than he had all last year playing.
I agree.
So I think we still have a big hole at center. But, yeah, I think Robert Hunt is going to break out this year. I think Eichenberg's going to play good. I think Austin Jackson's going to improve. And I think Austin Jackson was put in a bad situation last year. But
all right, guys, real quick. Want to reset. If you guys want to come on, Clock Blockers, Miami Fans #1 morning show. We got 21 likes. We got 35 people watching. Hit that like button. If you guys want to donate to the channel like my man Miami Football Talk did this morning, he's trying to win those DWA shorts. Donated $25 this morning. Every $5 you donate gets you an entry fee into winning the DWA shorts. So make sure you guys do that. The donation goes to helping our channel grow. And I got my man Brandon T. What's up, big homie?
What's up?
What's up, brother? How you guys doing this morning, man?
Pretty good, man. You always working, man. Always putting in that work. Getting that paycheck.
Hey, at least I get to watch you guys, man, and check out the content while I'm working. Keeps me sane.
Hey, man, the floor is yours. What do you want to talk about, bro?
Hey, man, just wanted to join the panel. I heard you guys talking about that defense, and, I just love talking about Miami Dolphins football, period. But, I wanted to say, I wanted to agree with Wade in a sense, but also, I wanted to chime in, too, with the whole Stu thing. We got to be careful, We keep bringing in, yes, Pro Bowl players, great players, but we overpay these guys and they don't come and perform. What's the point? Look what we did with Stu. We paid him $116 million. He didn't even want to get dirty with us. Goes to Tampa Bay Bucks and then he wins the Super Bowl. So, it just goes to show you we do need key guys in our defense like X, but also with the mentality that Flores has, it is a next man up mentality. So if we don't pay X, we get rid of X. Well, that's why we have a Javon Holland to bring in that can play also safety or corner. We have a McCourty. We have other guys. I mean, I think McCourty is great. And also he has that chemistry with Flo from the Patriots. So, I'm definitely excited. I personally think we're going to definitely be top 10 defense this year. Our defensive line, I think it's going to be nasty. Christian Wilkins, year 3, I think he's going to ball out this year. Ogbah's going to ball out. I mean, we got Siler. I mean, just a bunch of guys, man. Jalen Phillips, he's another one. He's supposed to be, I mean, a star for us. So if we can get that production on the line and we can get to the quarterbacks, we're going to open up that backfield like you were saying and like your wife said. It's going to give those guys in the backfield more opportunities. They can play more cushion. But I noticed when we played last year and the year before, we would have great plays. Andrew Van Ginkel, return touchdown fumbles. Ogbah getting in there, strip sack fumbles. I mean, that's great, but we need consistency. We need to do that more than 2 or 3 times a game. Not alone, our offense needs to step up. But if we can keep that consistency and keep guys in that rotation, keeping them on their toes, man, it's going to open up so many opportunities for us. In the middle of the field, we're going to be able to stop that run, and you're going to see more picks overall, not just for X, but you might see Byron. You might see, some of these other guys come out there and start getting more picks too. Javon Holland might come out and start getting picks. So it really does. It's a team game. So, like TD says it all the time, I would rather have a whole team full of 7 and 8s than 1 or 2 9s and 10s. So that's my opinion on that. And,
Wade, what are your thoughts on Brandon's?
He said a lot of stuff, right? So the first thing I'll say is I want to disagree about Sue. Like, Sue played very well here. The question kept coming up to, well, does he live up to his contract? Well, we never seen a contract like that before. Like, how do you judge that? You know what I mean?
Ever.
Like, I think the coaching staff and some other holes on the team were a much bigger problem. And listen, full disclosure, I love Sue, right? The Huskers are my college team. Like, I was a Sue fan before he got here, but also, like, he left us. He went to go play with the Rams, right? They got to the Super Bowl there. Now, granted, he was also playing next to Aaron Donald. They had Leonard Floyd is out there for a little bit. Sue was a great player. Sue's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm not worried about Sue. But the other thing, one of the players you mentioned, and this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings that are on here right now, because I love him too. He may be my favorite player on the team right now. But you mentioned Christian Wilkins. And Christian Wilkins is a guy that has a bunch of highlight plays, has played very well, but he also hasn't been super consistent. Like, if you look at his overall performance, throughout the course of the entire year, it's not been great. Like, he's yet to earn his spot on the field on third downs. He always comes off the field on third downs. He's a guy I would love. If there's one player I said, beast up, step up, become a dog, get your next deal with the Dolphins, stay here forever, it would be Christian Wilkins. I have a feeling fans, we love him so much, we kind of think he's a little better than he is. I hope he steps up and makes that jump this year, because him doing that, especially him being able to stay on the field on third down, that would be monumentous to what we're going to be able to do.
He 100% has to. Guys, if you come onto the show and you're not talking, put yourself on mute, and then that way I don't have to hit it, and you guys can take yourself off. So I'm going to take yourselves off mute, and you guys can hit your own mutes. That way you guys can do it. Look, Christian Wilkins, in my opinion, is such a huge X factor of the defense moving forward this year for many different reasons. One of them, leadership in the locker room. When Kyle Van Noy left, that had a void that needed to be filled. And I think Christian Wilkins can be that void on the defense, right? I think he can be that guy. I think Van Ginkel can also be that guy. I think if you're looking inside a defensive huddle and you're looking around for a voice or somebody to step up, those two guys are great. And I would love for those two guys to become team captains. Or one of those two guys to become team captains. The other thing that I think is also interesting about Wilkins is, and we haven't talked about this enough, he's so versatile. He can play on the offensive side in goal line situations. And I want to see Christian Wilkins do more goal line situations on the offense, bro. Like, for me, that tells me that's fun. I want to see that. And so, that's what I want to see. Miami football talk. Your thoughts on everything so far, bro?
I agree with Wade. I think that
everybody agrees with Wade.
Well,
just messing with
it's more of the guy. We're looking at him more as he's great for the team, this and that, or whatever. I think he's a great player. I think he's not very consistent, but I think that having him on the team benefits us very, very well because, like you said, Steph, about having somebody in the locker room as that vet to be able to tell guys like, hey, you know, we can do this. Let's put you on this, that. That goes a long, long way.
No, I feel you. Listen, I'm a Christian Wilkins fan, right? Like, I want to make sure everybody heard me with what I said, right? Like, I love this dude. He's probably my favorite player on the team. I'm just concerned that if he doesn't take that next step, like, he obviously first-round pick, he's going to have a 4-year deal, right, with a 5th-year option. I'm just concerned that if he doesn't take that next step, that's the end of him being on the team because we know, we pay for performance. And if he could be that guy that comes up on 3rd down, like, I would love our 3rd down package to look like just him and Raekwon, the only guys with their hands in the dirt. And we got some people jumping around doing crazy stuff with Baker and Phillips and those other guys. I just I'm nervous, man, that Wilkins isn't going to turn out to be the guy we want him to be. And right now, he's been great. He's been awesome. I love it. But you got to take that next step.
Mike Sitzaball says, Wilkins' attitude is infectious. How many guys on defense run on the field after a TD to congratulate the offense? That's what I want to see.
Love
it.
That's what I want to see. Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, just to kind of key in on that, too, that's it. Like Brian Flores always talks about in all his meetings, he does not want me-first guys. He wants team-first guys. So when you've got a guy like Christian Wilkins, like in that comment, like, Mike just said, when you've got a guy that's running all the way from the benches and clearing the rest of his teammates out to celebrate with Mike Gesicki or Devontae Parker, that's just showing you how much the chemistry is real in Miami. A couple years ago, we didn't have that fire. When we had Jarvis Landry out there, Jarvis Landry, great wide receiver. I love Jarvis Landry. But when you watch him go out there and play, and when he doesn't get that ball, he was a very me-first kind of guy. Well, we also had Adam Gase in there, but, again, it's really good. I listen to a lot of the, to the audio from the Miami Dolphins like everybody else does, and just to hear these guys, the morale, and them support one another, just to have that group, it makes us really feel like, hey, we do have a team. And I felt for a long time we did not have a solid team with good coaches. We are, again, in a rebuilding phase. At the end of it, I feel like we're, towards the end of this phase now, because now we can compete. But, again, the chemistry's got to be there. You got to have guys supporting one another and versatility, next man up mentality. You can't really say it enough. If you have one guy go down, you can't put some second string guy in there that's going to lose the game for you. We've made mistakes like that in the past, playing players that we thought would be, good to fill in when somebody went down. Our offensive line, horrible. Couldn't even protect Tannehill before he left. Things like that. Hey, man, we're working on that little by little. Rome wasn't built in one night. And, I think we are going to be hungry. We are going to be aggressive. And the Dolphins organization is tired of getting a bad rap for not being a competitive team that can compete with guys like Mahomes and Watson and all these other big name teams, that are explosive on offense. Can we do it this year? I think we compete with just about any team.
The tools are there. The tools are there. The key pieces are there.
Absolutely.
Miami football talk. You were about to say something?
I was. It's, his leadership is awesome, but and a lot of people aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but if he doesn't take that next step this year, I feel like he's at his plateau already.
Who?
Christian Wilkins.
Talking about Wilkins, though. Hey, so Steve, real quick, I'm gonna point to. I lost it, but somebody in here keeps talking about moving Wilkins to defensive end. So this is just a little bit of X's and O's.
Chris Johnson, newest member of the channel.
So, thanks for that, Chris. So, there's a little bit of X's and O's talk. I do this kind of deeper when I'm up here alone, but so I don't confuse anybody. So Wilkins is what's called a 5 technique, right? So when you have a 3-4 lineup versus a 4-3 lineup, the defensive end position really changes a lot, right? Like a guy like so think of like a J.J. Watt, for example, right, versus a guy like a Myles Garrett, right? You look at them, they look completely different. There's a reason for that. So in a 4-3, traditionally, your DNs are more of your pass rushers, and their job most of the time is to get to the quarterback. Now, not every play, right? You need guys who can set the edge and play against a run, those other things. in a 3-4 system, your 2 DNs are typically bigger guys, right? Because they're really going more straightforward than trying to come around these edges, and they're doing more, power rushes and eating double teams and stuff like that a traditionally 4-3 end would. So when you're talking about a guy like Christian Wilkins, you can almost kind of use that D end and nose tackle or D tackle designation almost simultaneously, because it's not 100% the same thing, but in general they play more in that. So we've actually went kind of back and forth. Like Wilkins is currently listed on the official roster as a D tackle, but he's been listed as a DN before. If you pick him up in like a Madden game or something like that, they might move one or the other. It might say right end, it might say D tackle, whatever it is. They don't really focus so much on where they list him as much as like what he does. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's going to go forward, collapse the backfield, eat up double teams, just like a nose tackle in a lot of situations.
I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Phillips. What do you think Phillips is going to do for us this year?
I think Jalen Phillips is going to be our defensive MVP. That's one. Let's get that straight right off the bat. I think he's going to have double-digit sacks. Number 2, okay? Mark my words, Jalen Phillips has a very big opportunity to win Defensive Player Rookie of the Year.
Facts.
I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to throw it out there right now. Keep the receipt, okay? Go ahead and keep him, because I'm telling you, I think Jalen Phillips is a balls.
Now,
he's a beast.
Adding Phillips, do you think that solidifies our 4-man load? Got you with that one, huh?
Wade, what do you think?
I think I like what Jake's down here is talking about in the comments. Here's the problem. If Philip balls out this year, then Ogba's gone at the end of the year.
Yeah, but Ogba's going to get a contract extension in the next 2 weeks. You don't think so?
Exactly. I agree. And having Phillips,
I do. I think he gets a contract extension before training camp starts.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because right now they're having to deal with this stupid Xavier Howard mess, right? So you're dealing with that mess right now, and you have to realize Ogba and Gesicki are pissed. They want contract extensions.
But it's not that we don't extend. We literally just extended Baker a couple days ago. Like,
I understand.
I don't want to go down the Gesicki rabbit hole again, but like I had a feeling we're going to be not thrilled with what happens to Gesicki. I don't necessarily know if Phillips does what we think Phillips can do. I don't know if there's enough snaps to go around for both.
You do remember when we had Jason Taylor and anybody else that played alongside? Like, I want 2 defensive ends.
So listen, I remember when we had Joey Porter and Jason Taylor, and we got rid of both of them in the same year, and people said, "Oh, where's our sacks going to come from?" And Cameron Wake stepped up as a starter and had more sacks.
Well, that's because we found a diamond in the rough with Cameron Wake in the CFL.
Exactly.
But this is my point, though. Like, if
Big Baker, John Stud, get up here. I saw you in the back room. Get up here, Big John. Go ahead, man.
Sorry, I'm reading. There's a lot flying around.
No, it's all good. While you're reading that, want to remind everybody, guys, hit that like button. 24 likes, 40 people watching. Miami Football Talk, Brandon, real quick, tell them what they need to do. Tell them what they need to do.
Hit that like
button. Y'all need to go ahead and hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Smash it.
See, I don't even got to say
it. Most importantly, donate to the channel.
Look at that. Look at that.
It helps.
Any way, shape, or form, man. However you guys can show your love, whether it's a subscription, a donation, a like, a share.
Guys, I didn't give you all the script. Man. There's no script here, guys, just so everybody knows. I'm just saying, no script here.
Script.
No, this is all love. All
love. Hey man, I got a big guy who's been making his presence known on Twitter. My man Big John Stud 007. Big John, what's up, big homie?
What's up, man?
Hey man,
chilling, man.
I know you've been listening. I know you've been waiting. Got your new headphones in. You're ready to go, man. I'm all here.
It's not even that, man. You know how it is in Miami. It's been raining. It's like Miami's going to be built in 7 days. The earth all over again. My internet was all talking about it raining. I thought I was going to have to be like Gilligan and try to like throw to your ass or something.
I love it. I love it.
Every day, 3 o'clock it rains, bro. Every day.
The only place worse than here is Seattle, man. I think Jalen Phillips is gonna just demolish the league. People don't even understand how crazy that guy is. I was gonna ask you a question because I've been listening to all this, but I was listening to Reason yesterday. He was talking about how everybody seems to have a problem with Tua, especially Brian Flores. Here's my
Has a
question.
problem with Tua?
Yeah, like he doesn't really like him. Like everybody says, what is the problem that Brian Flores has with Tua?
Bullshit.
People think, he doesn't like him. Here's my question. What I don't understand is Tua is basically Tom Brady. That's basically what Tom Brady is.
I wouldn't give that comparison.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
I'm not.
Hold on.
He was the nicest.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying right now.
Let me explain. I mean, as far as his two attributes are intelligence and accuracy. That's Brady.
Facts.
That's exactly what Brady is.
Look,
what's the issue?
I think Tua is the nicest guy in the world. Let's get that straight. So, if you don't like him, there's something wrong with you. Let's get that as a person.
Was it you? This was TD that said this?
No, Reason. He said Reason.
Okay. Listen, here's the thing. I get where he's coming from 100%, right? Like, Tua, when you have a quarterback, the two most important things are accuracy and decision making, right? Now, Tom Brady's historically, he's actually not that accurate. But when you take into account, like, the style that they played his whole career, right? These short, quick passes, get the ball out of his hand quick, read the offense, know what to do with it. I 100% agree that that's exactly Tua's strengths, right? Now, what made Brady is that he's played for 1,000 years or whatever it is. Like, but he was never like, however long he's playing. But he was never a guy that went out and, like, he wasn't consistently leading the league in yardage. He wasn't consistently leading the league in accuracy. He was making good decisions. He wasn't turning over the ball. He wasn't getting sacked because he was getting the ball out of there quick. Yep. That's what Tua's good at. So I 100% agree with what he's saying. I don't know where this came from. We got a Reason on here, but, like, what's he doing? Flores hating Tua, that's news to me. I don't know anybody that dislikes Tua other than ESPN employees, apparently. But, like, he's like as a player's guy, like, no one's ever had a negative thing to say about him personally. Sorry.
Big John, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Big John. Hit the mute button again. There we go. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
You. Yep, we can. All you, big guy.
Okay. It's not that Reason said that there's a problem. It's just there's this consensus. There's this feeling that, like, I think that the reason why people think he doesn't like Tua or there's an issue is because he said people have been saying that he didn't like Tua being shoved down his throat. Like, he didn't pick Tua. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just an ego thing, in my opinion. I don't think he has an issue with him personally as a person, but I think it's an ego thing. Because Brian Flores is very controlling, man. That guy, seems like he's military style. And I think that's
he's a drill sergeant. He's a drill sergeant.
He probably don't like quarterbacks. He's a defensive guy, bro. You see the way he smiles at Raekwon Davis? Looked like his first kid just hit a home run or something like that,
man. Well, look, this is what I'll say. I'll say that I'm going to put you back on mute, Big John. This is what I'll say to that. What I'll say to that is, I think Tua, when you look at a quarterback, what are things you want to see besides the physical aspects? You want to see somebody that's going to be consistently in the huddle, taking command of his huddle with the players. You want to see somebody that on the sideline has the respect from his teammates. You want to see somebody that's in film, always working out, always first man on, last. Like, Tua shows all of that. Like, he has the attributes all there. So let's get something straight. If Tua's not successful, it's not because he's not trying to put in the work. It's just because he doesn't have it, which, by the way, I don't think is the case. I think he has it. But that's the only reason Tua fails. That's it. The offensive line's here. Everything's here for him to succeed.
Steve, let me ask you something. Was Tony Romo a failure? Like, is Kirk Cousins a failure? Because these are not dudes that are ever going to win the MVP trophy, but they're dudes that consistently go out and outperform the quarterbacks that get all the love.
Well, let's get something straight. Unless you have an elite defense, which I think we have, you're not going to win a Super Bowl without a great quarterback. You have an elite defense. You can
You're not
get
going to win
away.
one.
You
You're
can
not
get
gonna win one
away
without an
with
elite
having.
defense anyway.
You can get away with having a Joe Flacco as your quarterback, or Trent Dilfer, or Brad Johnson as your quarterback and win a Super Bowl. If you do not have an elite defense, you're not winning a Super Bowl with an average quarterback. It's not going to happen.
You're not going to win a Super Bowl without an elite defense. There's been one Super Bowl ever in the history of Super Bowls that has been won because of offense, and it's when the Chiefs beat the Niners. That's it. Period. Like, defense is what wins the games. But here's my point, though. Like, I don't care if Tua never gets the league MVP, which is a BS award anyway. I don't care if he's not ever the guy that has leads the league that year in yardage or touchdowns or whatever it is. Like, if he does not turn the ball over, if he makes good decisions with the ball, if he consistently puts the ball where it needs to be, and oh, by the way, actually has healthy players around him, unlike last year when, by the way, he did all these things, but he was doing it with 6th and 7th string guys, right? He was doing it with offensive linemen that weren't supposed to start. Like, you build a team around this guy and continue to have the defense that we have, and he's going to be very good for a very long time. You give him the weapons that he has, I think, now, and dudes like Fuller and Waddle and Parker and Gesicki and, maybe Hunter Long, who knows. Like, I think he can be more than that, right? But he can be a guy like a Tony Romo, who's never in the headlines, but every year is top 7 or 8 in yardage, top 7 or 8 in touchdowns, and the team can be very good. But it still takes an entire team.
Miami football talk. Go ahead.
Well, exactly. Like, a lot of people are judging Tua for his year last year. But in reality, this is the year that the judgment needs to go on. Because now he has the weapons. There's no excuse to, if he knows the playbook, if he doesn't, who he's throwing to, are the players hurt, this and that, and all that bull snot. Now you have the players. You have your offensive line. You have your playbook. Show us what you can do. If he can, perfect, beautiful. We know who we got. If not, out the door you go, buddy. And in reality, I really think that 3 years is really what it is for a quarterback.
Big John, take yourself off mute, man. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah. I'm listening to him. Listen, man, I understand everybody says college is different from the NFL. You guys do realize that Tua Tagovailoa is like the greatest college passing quarterback in the history of college football, and that's like 100 years. People don't seem to understand how good this guy is.
36 touchdowns before a single interception. He did 2 years in a row.
It's funny. We were having a conversation I had the other day. Who's better, Tua or Mac Jones? Listen, Mac Jones and Tua played about the same amount of games. Shouldn't even be a
conversation.
Tua, it shouldn't be a conversation. I know, it's ridiculous. Tua's got 30 more touchdowns in like 2 fewer games. Exactly. So I don't understand all these comparisons and people talking about, guys, he played 9 games. 9 games. And in 9 games, he did what most people don't do as a rookie.
John, not only did he play 9 games, he played 9 games very well. Like, I don't understand this. Like, people are like, well, we'll see what he does this year. Did you not see what he did last year? Like, what he did with literally no one around him, no running backs, all the receivers backed up, backup offensive linemen. I've had people argue with me about Sam Darnold, right? No, Sam Darnold had Adam Gase. He was in a bad situation. I'm looking at Sam Darnold's numbers right now. Tua's completion percentage last year was 3% above Sam Darnold's best year ever, and people are still trying to argue that Sam Darnold's a good quarterback.
Well,
Tua went 2-1 touchdown
what I was saying
ratio.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
Well, what I was saying by, there we go. Well, what I was saying by it wasn't that now is the prove it or not. What I was meaning by it was we saw his game management and how he knows how to play the clock. He knows where to put his team to be able to win the game. To where now we're going to be able to see what he can do with his arm, how he's going to throw the ball, where he's going to throw it to. You understand what I'm saying?
I get.
Go ahead.
I get it, but what people don't seem to get is even Tua being elite and throwing the football is him controlling the game, because he didn't turn the ball over even though he hit those 5 touchdowns. It's not like the guy has ever thrown 4 touchdowns in a game in college and and he played against all the elite talent there was. So it's not even about him
in the SEC,
managing the
in
game.
the SEC.
Exactly. In the SEC, he's there destroying people left and right, throwing 6-7 touchdown passes against every defense known to man to throw at the guy.
It's not like he's playing Central University every week. He's playing against good players.
It's not like he's playing Braddock, the high school next to my crib over here.
I agree with you, but there's kind of a loophole to that, because when you think about it, how many players are there in college total? Let's just throw a ballpark figure. Let's say 2,000 players total in college football. How many actually get to the NFL? No, I know, just a figure. Right. How many of those 2,000 actually make it to the NFL? 100, let's just say, out of that 2,000, right?
I actually used to have the numbers.
There's 240 draft picks or something like that.
Well, what I'm saying is
but not all of them make it.
Well, what I'm saying is the players that he's playing with in college aren't at
I get that you're saying
all
that,
the players
but at
that
the
he plays
same
against in
time-
college aren't at the level.
Yeah, but listen. There's an adjustment from the NFL to college, right? They're just, and I don't mean like, they actually, I have a real job now and I got to figure out blah, blah. I mean, like, there's a different game. Yes, there's faster, better players, all that stuff's true. But like, again, like, I really want to understand, like, by what metrics are you measuring this player? Because again, like a 64%, I don't want to be this guy right now, but like his rookie year with nobody to throw to, he had a 64% completion percentage. People are saying he sucks. Colin Kaepernick, everyone's saying he deserves to be in the league. For a career, he doesn't even have 60% completion percentage, right? Like, are you measuring his touchdown interception ratio?
At all.
This is what I'm saying. So, like, are you measuring his touchdown interception ratio? Because despite most of his interceptions coming in one game where, again, there was literally nobody like throwing it, he still had a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is pretty much the standard of a pretty good touchdown interception rate. Like, I understand Aaron Rodgers was like historic last year, right? But that's not the norm. So, like, what is it? Like, what do you guys want? Is it yards per game? Is it, again, completion percentage is a big one for me. Like, what is it people want? And no one seems to have an answer. They just go, oh, well, he's not Drew Brees. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Peyton Manning. So he sucks. Like, that. This is the most ridiculous argument like we ever had. Like, the kid had a good year, especially considering the circumstances of everything, the injuries, playing against some tough teams, playing with no OTAs, coming back from his hip injury, no training camp. We had guys who were picking up off the street. Like, I don't understand how anyone can sit there and have the balls to be like, oh, this kid was absolutely horrible. It's just ridiculous and not true.
Absolutely not. Hell no, absolutely not. For what he went through to how he played last year was phenomenal, if you ask me. I enjoyed it. I think he did great.
I don't think
the way he
people
played that
really-
Cardinals game.
Do me a favor, real quick. And yes, the Cardinals game was a huge one for me. Look at Duke. So Duke has this comment. Give me wins over stats and numbers. We're talking about an individual player. A win is a team accomplishment.
Right.
Okay. This is not a sport where you judge an individual player by wins. So if you're mad at Flores for wins, go nuts. But we got 10 wins last year.
But they do. I'm going to play devil advocate here, but they do. Because here's a reality, Wade. And I'm going to bring this up, especially for Delusional Patriots fan that's in the chat box. Good morning, Delusional Patriots fan. Matt Castle got $60 million because he came in and won, right? Jacoby Brissett got a big-ass contract from Indianapolis because he
came
won.
in and played well. Castle's numbers were good.
I'm just saying the win-loss ratio does matter for quarterbacks when it comes to positions. Yes, it does.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it does. The only exception to the rule I have ever seen is the man who's playing tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, Tim Tebow. That's the only time I've ever seen wins not matter for a quarterback ever.
Yeah, that's a crazy. Listen. No matter how much Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless repeat that, China's putting Muslims in training camps. It doesn't make it right just because they're doing it. It's a crazy thing. Did I say training camps? Jesus. Y'all know what I meant. China owns YouTube, we're gonna get kicked out. But no, my point here is like, you know, there's people that talk about it, but it's not accurate. Like it's a nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. You can't judge a team player or an individual player on a 53-man sport. Now, if you want to talk about wins, you want to talk Florida, we won last year. Like, go back and look. Tua came in for the Jets game, right? So you can't really count that. But we beat the Cardinals. We beat Arizona. Like right away.
Cardinals and Arizona are the same team. Wait.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm half asleep. Los Angeles and Arizona, right? Those were the first two games he came in, right? And those were very good teams. We beat the Chargers.
Tell him, wake up, Wade. Get your coffee.
I need it, bro. I need it. I don't have my wife down here bringing me stuff, you know. Well, but like, hey, we lost the Broncos game. Like, we lost the Chiefs game. We lost the Bills game. If you look at the Chiefs and Bills, those are two teams that a lot of people expected to be in a Super Bowl. The Broncos, no, they weren't a great team. But if you look back and go see what actually happened in that Broncos game, that wasn't on Tua. That was on our offensive line. They used those blitz packages that just destroyed our O-line.
Our last game of the season, we lost that game not because of the offense. We lost that game because of the defense.
No. We lost that game for many reasons.
But yeah, we got our listen.
Come on, bro.
White flag.
By the way, anybody who says Fitzpatrick plays Week 17, we win, delusional.
Hell no.
Delusional.
No.
No way that we still. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying there's no
thrown 12
interceptions. I'm just saying, right? Like, that's what I think. Bro, I hate when a fan comes up to me and says, "Hey, if Fitzpatrick started Week 17, we would have made the playoffs." Come on, bro.
And by the way, the reason they said that is because of that Raiders game.
No.
Let me tell y'all something. Go back and watch that play. Everybody knows the play. That was not a good throw. They're like, oh, he made this miracle throw. And they went as far as to be like it was a dime pass. Like, what are you talking about?
Matt Collins made that play, bro.
That was a luck.
Right, that's all that was, dude. And yeah, you could say, well, it's luck, it's magic. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That's a whole different argument, bro. Like, that's what you're right. But that was not a good throw. Like, are you insane? Like, but no. Listen, there's a reason that dude has been. And when it comes to Fitz, like, and you know, I'm not knocking him. You know, thank you for what you did here and all that stuff. But like, there's a reason this dude has been on like 58 teams or whatever the number is at this point. Like, there's a reason.
His little chest hair and his
let me jump in here real quick, and I just want to say that I appreciate you guys and all that you guys do, and your content is phenomenal. It's great, but I gotta bounce, I gotta roll, I gotta get back into work.
Hey, don't Miami forget, Football Talk, before you leave, tell those people the goal was $60 today. We only got $25 in donations.
I already put $25 in there. Somebody can
tell them $5 a donation or more, right? Gets you automatically entered to win those DWA shorts.
I tell you what, if nobody donates, I guess I'm winning then.
It's got to be $60 or more. See, that's why I put the caveat on it.
So you're gonna make me throw in some more money then?
Hey, you know what, Miami Football Talk? You're that guy. You're that guy.
Y'all know the shorts are available for purchase.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, but I appreciate you guys.
Miami Football Talk, you're the man, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
Love.
Oh man. All right, Big John. And then there was one.
Yeah, there was one. I don't gotta go nowhere, man. My daughter's sleeping, so I'm good.
Well,
I'm good.
All right, if you guys want to come on, there are like two people I really want to come on, Larry and M, if M is still on, but or EM. I did put the link to StreamYard if you guys want to come on, talk some Dolphins football, Dolphin chat. Guys, hit that like button. 43 people watching, 32 likes. That means 10 to 11 of y'all, 12 of y'all haven't hit that like button yet. Y'all hit that thing. All right. Next question for you guys. And I'll start with Wade. If for some reason the worst case scenario happens and Jacoby Brissett has to play, Tua gets hurt, knock on wood, we have to talk about it. what happens to this team?
The stadium's empty. I'll tell you that. Like,
Good job. Yeah, there you go.
I don't listen. I don't want to go out there and pretend like that Brissett's this awful player that doesn't belong in the NFL, but I'm not going to pretend we're going to have like a situation like, you know, the Bucs did when Fitzpatrick went down and Jameis Winston came in, and then all of a sudden, like the next year, he's throwing for 5,000 yards. Like, Brissett has a certain skill set. He's good in the play action. You know, he's solid in the short to medium game. His long ball is not accurate really at all. And my bigger concern is, and I agree with Josh over there, it depends on how long he's out. My bigger concern with Brissett is his release is not fast. You know, and that's one of the things about Tua is his is very quick. Like I've grown to love that little play action spin move thing he does to drop the ball out. You know, we all saw those slot plays to Parker and stuff like that last year. Brissett, I think, is going to struggle because I still don't think our offensive line is where it needs to be, and there is going to be some pressure on there. So if you can't get the ball out of your hands, and especially because we don't, as of now, at least have a running game anyone's scared of in the play action side, it's not going to be pretty, man. We're going to have to design a lot of plays that are, you know, get the ball out quick and hopefully like that New England style stuff that we saw for years, you know, get the ball out quick and hopefully they fall forward for a couple yards or, you know, get a screen to Waddle or something like that. But we're going to be relying on defense a lot if Brissett's in there.
Big John, what are your thoughts that if Tua goes down with any sort of injury, you know, what do you think? What do you think?
If Tua goes down, it's going to be a long season, bro. Very long season. That's all I got to tell you. It is not going to be good. Not at all. Not even close. You're better off playing quarterback if Tua goes down. I'm telling you right now.
Larry, get up. Yeah. Pete, get up here, man. I hope we don't see a million screens again. Hey, I ain't mad at you. NorCal Auto says, the Godfather says, Tua looks to have built up his body. How much of a difference will that make? Hashtag clock blockers. Wade?
In terms of getting hurt, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that makes him more? Look, you got to realize.
I don't think we're worried about him having an upper body injury, bro. I mean, let's call it what it is. Like, we're nervous. Yeah, but in terms of his actual play, I mean, so if you go back and watch some highlights, and I think, you know, my man that just left here was talking about Bowden right now. I was going to make a Bowden comment. Actually, it'd be Perry, not Bowden. But anyway, if you go back and watch that Arizona game, Tua doesn't want to run with the ball, but he can escape. He's got that Russell with that like escapability, right? Like he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not going to.
He's not looking to run.
Right, but he has shown that he can, you know, get out of a crowded pocket, you know, make a play with his legs if he needs to. But it's not something he can do, you know, like he's not like a Tannehill, right? Tannehill was a receiver first, right? And Tannehill, you know, loved those rollout plays where he could turn upfield and run if he wanted to. That's not what Tua wants to do. So I'm hoping he didn't really lose any of the speed that he may need there, and something tells me he didn't. But with the struggles our line may have, I want to see him, you know, maybe stiff arm somebody to the ground. Let's see, you know, with that strength.
Hit the Heisman on that.
You know?
Woo!
He's got, you know, the advantage. He's 6'1", right? So he's not as tall as some of these other quarterbacks. So if you can put some muscle on, you know, it may be a little easier for you to shake off a sack and you know, maybe even break a tackle if you need to.
Hey,
now, I hope he's not running. But.
Great one, DeVore, true Fins fan. Why don't you guys come on, talk a little football talk, man. Scroll up, you'll see it. And Pete's over here evading coming on. He don't want the smoke. Pete doesn't want the smoke, man. All right, let's change topics, man. Let's go to running back and the depth chart at running back. I believe Myles Gaskins is the guy here, right? That's what I believe. Myles Gaskins being the guy, and I'll bring Brandon T back in here because Brandon looks like he's back in. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Yeah, sorry about that. I got a call earlier. I tried to decline it, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it kicked me.
It's all right, man. real quick, I'll ask you the last question before we go into the running back depth chart. If Tua goes down, what do you think about Brissett? Like, what do you see the team like with Brissett?
Well, number one, I think we need, now that Tua is learning the playbook better, I think our playbook will expand. I do think Jacoby Brissett is a good backup. Depending on when and if he was to go down, it just really depends on where we stand with the rest of our team. If we're playing, we're clicking, we're doing good, I think Jacoby could be a good backup. Is he going to be as elite as Tua is? No. But in my opinion, back to the whole Tua thing, and I wanted to chime in on this earlier, guys got to give the man a break. Look at Joe Burrow. All that hype with Joe Burrow. Oh, number one. He went out there, got injured, done for the rest of the season. Where's all the talk for Joe Burrow now? So, everybody gets so excited when, they hear people talk about Tua. Oh, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. I personally think everybody just needs to relax with Tua. Tua admitted it himself. He did not fully understand the whole playbook as really good as he wanted to. And again, we are bringing in more weapons. We did bring in Waddle. So that right there could be the piece of the missing puzzle that we just don't know about as fans. Giving him Fuller in there. We have explosive speed. And then we still have, as of right now, Parker and Williams coming back healthy, along with the Gesicki. So there is absolutely no excuses for Tua this year. I'm very happy that he did not have to sit on the bench. I'm very happy that he was able to play, other than a few times that he was pulled. But I think that was just for his best interest. That wasn't because they didn't have faith in him. They just felt at the time there was somebody else that was going to have to come in, and that was Fitzpatrick because of the knowledge. I think we're going to be perfectly fine with Tua. Everybody loves him. He is probably one of the nicest.
Brandon, not arguing that Tua is not the guy. We all agree that. I think my question was, if Tua goes down, can we win with Brissett?
Yeah, and that's why I was chiming in before when he asked earlier, about why, I think it was the other guy, when he asked, why is there so much hate about Tua? So, but yes, if Tua does go down, we are in trouble. I agree to that, but I do think that Brissett would be a valuable enough backup. We would be able to finish the season. That's about it. I can't say that, oh my gosh, if we're close to the playoffs, I just don't know if there's that much chemistry there with those guys. I think that Brissett, that was one of his things, is just gaining that chemistry, learning that playbook. And if he can learn the playbook and he can gain that chemistry along with Tua, he would be a valuable enough backup. It just depends on if it's short term, if it's for a game or two, or do we need him for the rest of the season? If we need him for the rest of the season, I feel like we're in trouble. If we need him for a game or two, something minor, we're fine. We're fine.
He can take that little stretch where we got like the Jets, Panthers, Giants, and Jets again, or something, whatever it is.
Let him play against the Jets if Tua's banged up. For sure, I have faith in that game. Of course.
Great one. Divorce says 18 takeaways, mic drop. Also with the $5 donation. Just so everybody knows, if we hit $60 in donations today, I'm going to give away a free pair of DWA shorts as long as you donated $5 or more. And every $5 gets you another entry into the DWA shorts giveaway. So right now, I believe we are at 35. So come on, guys, let's get to 60. We can get to 60. Let's go. Hit that like button. 35 likes, 40 people watching. Smack it, tap it. I don't care what you do. Pancake it, eat it, whatever. Miami Football Talk says we need Matt Moore.
Saw that. Hey, there's a couple.
Share the content. If again, you can't donate, I tell people all the time, share that content, spread it. That way more people are seeing it. That way more people have the opportunity to help and more people get to see the content as well.
Brandon, I'm going to have to start putting you on the payroll.
Hey, so look, Steve, there's a couple comments. Right?
Go ahead, Wade.
When it comes to him, he looks okay last year. I personally don't think he even looked that phenomenal. But you got to understand, Burrow.
Okay.
But you got to understand, like, the team he had around him, and Josh here's talking about it, right, with the injury and stuff. Like, yo, Tyler Boyd is quietly one of the better slot receivers in the league. He actually graded out higher than Devontae Parker last year. T. Higgins was a beast as a rookie. T. Higgins is going to be really good.
I would say last year Cincinnati's wide receiver core was better than ours last year.
It was. Oh, and by the way, they just went out and got the best receiver in the draft. Right? Like, and then you bring back Joe Mixon from the injury, who's a way better running back than we even have close to on around. Like, Joe Burrow's got a squad with him, right? Like, for all the stuff people were talking, his numbers in the games he played were a little better than Tua's, and obviously more snaps. Not much better, but look at the level of talent between the two. Like, I think we did it here a couple weeks ago. We read off like the list of guys Tua threw to in the Patriots game, and it was all like 6-round picks and below, a bunch of nobodies that none of them may even make our roster this year. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a weird comparison that people are making almost as if it's apples and oranges. And I get why they're doing it because they were the top 2 quarterbacks drafted last year. But it's so insane for people to like have no hate for Burrow, but all this hate for Tua, despite the fact that like their numbers are so close with the talent level being so different. Is it just because Tua went to Alabama?
I honestly think that has a lot to do with it because people hate Alabama, and that's fine. But like that, that's why I think that happens. Big John, what are your thoughts? You there, Big John?
I don't think he can hear us, man.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Big John?
Can you hear me? Okay. No, my internet was being weird. I don't know if you can hear me.
It's a little finicky.
He was talking about Burrow. I'm gonna say one thing. He threw 200 more.
All right, looks like Big John's internet is rough there. Big John got dropped. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, Brandon, I think where he was going was that Burrow had, so many more snaps and all this other stuff, which, I mean, again, I agree with. That's why I said when I'm talking about the numbers being similar, I'm talking about like on a per play basis. But yeah, like I don't know. It just blows up.
I want to get into the running back before we get off the air here. So I really think this is really important to talk about is real quick, Big Time called you out, Wade.
Yeah, but I don't understand his comment though, man. It's just like you got.
I'm sorry, Wade, but you're off your rocker. Burrow was that good. Every time you see the kid on his back, he got right back up, always pushed forward. It's not all about the numbers, Wade. It's his intangibles.
But what does that mean? He got right back up and pushed forward. Like, that's what every player does on every play, unless they get a serious injury, like Burrow actually happened to get last year. Like that's the basic expectation for being in the league. You know what I mean? Like, you have to play. You got to play hard. Yeah. Like, and when you say it's intangibles, like, I don't know what necessarily you're referring to. I hate that crap about like, oh, he's clutch or he's a leader in the locker room. Listen, you can either play the game or you can't play the game. The fact of the matter is both the guys we're talking about have a bright future in the league. But comparing what they did last year is comparing apples to oranges. It is what it is. Like, what Tua did with what he had versus what Burrow did with what he had were two very different things. And by the way, the Bengals were still losing. All these people talking about like, oh, wins and losses. The Bengals were losing while Tua was winning. All right. But if you imagine for a second that Tua had the type of healthy players around him that Burrow had, and yes, I know Joe Mixon missed a lot of time too, but just imagine that for a second. You know what I mean? Because you're going to see it in about 2 months.
All right. Enough about all this Burrow talk. This is not Cincinnati Bengals talk. This is Miami Dolphins chat. Okay? Enough about this guy. Big John, don't you worry about it, man. You're all good, bro. Let's see here. Now, let's go to the running back because that's all I really care about at the moment. Running back, Myles Gaskins, Malcolm Brown, Salvon Ahmed, and Jared Dokes. Those are the top 4 running backs listed on the Miami Dolphins depth chart on ESPN. Mm-hmm. Who am I missing?
Scarlett.
Yep. I mean, is he somebody that makes the team? And if not, if he does, who doesn't on this list?
So we're all.
How many running backs do we
Patrick Laird.
Patrick Laird's not going to make it, man. Like I was just about
No,
to say
he
that.
might not make it. He might make the practice squad, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the only ones that stepped up last year when Savannah Ahmed and Gaskin was down. I mean,
Well,
he came
remember,
in and
remember, like Ahmed wasn't even on the roster until late. You know what I mean? Like, and here's how I'm looking at this. Right, on the ground last year, Ahmad was probably the best we had, which is not saying much. Now, Gaskin was the best all around we had. Right? Gaskin was very good in the passing game. Overall, Joseph said it best: underwhelming. Like, Malcolm Brown is going to make the roster just because I think he's going to be the power of the short goal line guy.
If you ask Godfather, Mark Angelo, he thinks he's going to be the number one back here this year.
Yeah? Well, you're talking about Brown?
Yeah.
Well, and first of all, shout out to Mark Angelo. That's my guy. Love him to death. Brown is a power between the tackles guy, goal line guy, which is, it's funny because a lot of people are really hype on Jordan Scarlett, and he's a similar dude. The thing is, I don't think we even want to have a true number one running back out of this group because I don't think there's one guy that can do it all. You know, Gaskin's probably the most well-rounded, but
we're going to be running back by committee. We're going to be running back by
100%.
committee. Real quick before you go on, Estefan, what's up, my guy? Take yourself off mute, Estefan.
What up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, big homie. What's going on?
What's going on, man? I just want to chime in real quick about how Conor McGregor got his ass kicked. Oh my gosh.
God, really?
Bro, I heard your take, and it's horrible. I'm sorry. I love you, bro. But when you're in the scrap and you got your ass whooped all the way up until the time you broke your leg, which you broke your leg because you were throwing kicks, checking kicks. That's why his leg broke.
100%.
That is a straight L. There's no asterisk on that. That is a straight L, and he took it. And Poirier did his thing, and he's gonna beat him again if they get a. But I don't think he'll get a rematch.
Yep. That's all right. That's all right. Yep. That's all right. There'll be a McGregor Poirier 4. Don't worry about it.
One other thing. Did you not say that Brazil was going to beat Argentina? Because I could have swore you said Brazil was going to beat Argentina.
I didn't say that.
I just had to bring that back up, man. I don't know if you were reading the comments that day.
I was just reading the comments.
Like,
let me tell you something. Stephen D. Daniels has never ever been like, oh yeah, this soccer team's gonna win it. No, that's never. I like soccer, but yeah, you want to hear that from me.
Yeah. Okay, well, shout out to Messi the GOAT.
Hey, why is it that the same guys? Why does it people always love the same group of overrated players? Like Steven loves McGregor, he loves Tom Brady. Are you a Yankees fan too, bro? All these
How dare you
players.
ever say that I love Tom Brady? With that blasphemous comment on my channel.
Rolling about Tom Brady, and we were talking about great players.
You know
like
what?
Aaron
You know
Donald
what?
the other day.
Wade, you're gonna get replaced, man. You are gonna get replaced. Keep it up.
Man, Poirier beef fajita flattened, McGregor's face, man. I mean, it was like straight gumbo, baby. I mean,
it doesn't matter. My boy did. My boy won on the card. Sugar Sean O'Malley, boy, that's my guy.
Oh yeah. He's all right.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. He's good. He's good.
Do you have anything to point out about this Dolphins chat here?
Not really, man. I just want to chime in and talk smack about McGregor, bro.
See, that's why I love you, Estefan. He's like, I just wanted to come out and say.
I heard some of what y'all talked about, but it's whatever, man. I think some of the stuff y'all talked about, y'all all made really good points. The only thing, the narrative that's starting to get spun out there that I don't agree with, and that's fine. We're all fans of the same team. Is that Flo is being what you say, like domineering and like too controlling. I'm like, bro, it's a coach. If you ever play football, you get your butt on the field and you do what the coach tells you to do. Since I know these guys are being paid. But that's just not the way that you become a championship team or contender when guys don't buy in. They got to buy in.
Yeah,
You've got to use your personnel.
Do you think they haven't bought in? I think they have.
I think they have, man. But I think these, you're always going to have players that don't like that kind of.
You're right. And guess
style.
what happened? Guess what happens to those guys on this team? See ya.
You cut him.
Have a nice day.
Cut them. Yeah. That's why I would go as far to say, like, Matt, I'd say a perfect example would be like Matt Collins. He is a player's coach. He just does what the coach asks him to do, man.
Where do you want me?
Exactly. That's what it's about. That's how you get. I'd rather have guys like that than Ace that got an attitude problem, or I understand the whole thing with X. That's the business side. That's all business there. And so if he wants to come play, he can come play. If not, then he can kick rocks. But that's what it is, man. You got to move on, next guy up mentality. You can't sit back and dwindle people, man. You can't slow down because one guy don't want to buy in. That's not how it works. You got to keep moving forward. A coach has to have that. A coach that has a winning mentality has to have tunnel vision. You don't get time for that, correct? Go ahead.
Wade,
can you hear me?
Yeah. Wade, you want to chime in, or Big John?
I mean, look, I heard something about Flores being on a hot seat. I was like, what? Are y'all talking about? I think it's just a slow news day, man. I think it's July.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Big John, you were about to say something?
I just think is the reason why he's on the hot seat and everybody says it is because I don't think he's maximized the assets that he's had. He's made picks and then had to come back and make another pick when you should have, taken the guy that was there originally, and I think that's the issue. I think Stephen Ross is like, listen, you're spending my money. You just sat there and spent $100 million and just let it go out the door. You just signed Kyle Van Noy. Now we can't sign X. These ridiculous contracts that they didn't pan out. Now we're stuck. That's where he's at.
See, and that's where I agree 100% with that take. And EM and Reese had a show on that. I do agree with that. I think on the field when he has his personnel, he's a great coach, but he's got to start winning in that department.
I completely disagree with everything y'all just said.
All right, go ahead, Wade, because I was going to say the same thing.
Well, I think number one, right, it's not the coach signing the players, right? It's the Greer is the one making the picks and spending the money. Like, let's be very clear. Like, Flo has some influence, but he's not Greer. Like, Greer is in charge of building that roster. And I think when we talk about maximizing what they have, I can't think of a team that's done it better. I mean, and we're talking about, like, we lose our left tackle, we lose our starting safety, we lose all these guys because we're trading them away for draft picks. We're bringing in nobodies in some cases, and we're bringing in veterans that are taking a team friendly deal in some cases, like to be stopgap guys. Like, and as far as the cutting players and all that stuff, that's I mean, yes, Flores, has some say, but that's Greer's call. And as far as Stephen Ross being on top of anything, I just think that's a ridiculous thought. I mean, I can't think of a more absentee owner mindset than Stephen Ross. Like, he sucks. I don't know if I don't know any Dolphins fans are happy with him. But I think Greer's done a great job with it, especially when you talk about, like, we're talking about last year. Like, look at all the running backs we just talked about. Like,
first of all, wait. Just threw a lot at me, and I have to, like, break that down. Number one, everything Big John and Estefan just said about him being on the hot seat, blasphemous. The man is in
I didn't say he was on the hot seat.
Time out.
I didn't say he was on the hot seat. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Estefan. Go ahead.
I didn't say he was on the hot seat. I just said I agree with the maximization of certain players and personnel that he gets in the offseason and applying that to the team. That's what I agree with.
It's a trial and error thing. You find players work, find players don't work.
But that's what you,
and here's
that's
the best part.
Say,
if he realizes they're not a good fit, see ya, you're gone.
Okay, so we've actually talked privately a lot about this, me and him. And so we came to the conclusion that at some point you have to be able to forecast certain players, what they're going to become and what they're going to be, so that you don't get into issues where you can't sign somebody. You have to forecast this stuff. They potentially drafted Ignagni 2 years early. You know what I mean? The guy if this guy is not starting this year, he's going to be sitting on the sideline again waiting for his turn. So the point that I'm making is, besides his personnel, what he does on the defensive side of the ball, we're lacking on the offense, and that's just being completely objective to what's going on. I love Flores, but what I'm saying is where I agree with Wade is that Chris Greer is making these calls, but on some of these guys, they are Flores picks. Like when he celebrated Raekwon Davis, that's a Flores pick. But everybody knows going back to Tua, that Stephen Ross and Chris Greer were going to Alabama games. They were on the sideline. They were telling everybody, we're going to draft this kid. I don't think that 100% was a Flores pick. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that.
I hear you. I disagree with you. I think Flo and Greer are a package deal. Let's get something straight. They don't make decisions without each other, right? That's one. Number two, Wade, to your comment about Ross, I love Stephen Ross. I'm sorry, I love him.
Why? For what?
Because I believe
he has
not. I believe he shuts the hell up and lets the people that are running the team run the team. And I know that people do not believe that.
100%
So,
he does that.
And he writes checks when they need to be written.
But here's the thing.
Shut up, write your checks, stay away from the football side of things.
I don't want to.
Would you rather have him or Jerry Jones? Would you rather have him or Jerry Jones?
Well, no, I don't rather Jerry Jones. But here's what you got to understand. Like you saying he makes the decision and then he hires somebody and lets them run it. That's cool and all if you hire the right guy.
Okay, but again, it's a trial and error thing.
Right, but originally he did hire the right guy, right? Originally he hired Bill Parcells, one of the greatest, if not the greatest football minds ever.
Overrated.
What are you talking about, dude?
As a GM,
he wasn't the GM. He was the VP of operations.
Oh, same damn thing. He ran the football side of things.
Oh listen, bro. Bill Parcells is one of the greatest football minds ever.
I'm not saying he's not.
All the great coaches of the last how many years, right? And they're all somehow attached to his coaching tree. And if you remember, when he first got there,
Bill Parcells did nothing for this team.
44 new players on a 53-man roster, and we won the division for the first time in I don't even know.
Bill Parcells, Wade, did nothing for this franchise. Absolutely not a damn thing.
We haven't won the division since.
He didn't do nothing for this team.
We didn't win it before. We didn't win it since. The problem was Ross got in his – I'm trying not to curse on the show. But Ross became a big pain, and that's why Parcells left shortly after his second season here. And since then, Ross thought he learned a lesson, and he said, I'm just going to give the keys to somebody, but he keeps giving the keys to the wrong freaking people. Mike Tannenbaum, Joe Philbin, Adam Gase.
Do you think Greer's the wrong guy?
No, I don't. I started this by saying I don't want to talk about the two guys right now because I think they're doing a good job. But it took Stephen Ross how many freaking years to get here? Right? So to say that he's been a good owner this whole time.
We're all not perfect, except the 72 Dolphins.
Let's talk about what they're doing to us fans. Let's talk about what the front office is doing. Right? Like they're continuing to pimp out our stadium for other crap that we don't care about. They're tearing up our tailgate lots. They're destroying the game day experience in the stadium. Like they keep turning over everyone that actually works for the front office of the team that interacts with the fans. Like Ross has not been good. Dude. He's fine.
I don't think that's on. I don't think that's on him. Who runs the? What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? Who's the president of Garfunkel? That's Garfunkel.
Who's Garfunkel report to?
Stephen Ross wants to win a Super Bowl.
Don't we all?
Okay.
Is there anybody here don't want a Super Bowl win?
I think there are I live in Baltimore, bro. And I think that the ownership here for the Orioles do not want to win a World Series. There are owners out here that do not give a shit.
They
don't.
And this is going to be sad. This is going to sound worse than it does. But I truly believe there's a difference in a Super Bowl and a championship in other sports. Because you know just as well as I do, when it comes to like baseball, like remember that one year the Pittsburgh Pirates, the entire team was making like less money than A-Rod? Like there are ways they can run some of these other things as a business and as a profitable thing. And unfortunately, I think there's some NFL teams that try to work the same way. Here's looking at you, Detroit. But it's winning a Super Bowl is you'll know, dude. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm not an Eagles fan by any means. Right? There is no Kelly Green in this house. I'm not an Eagles fan, and I make that very clear. I don't hate them. I don't wish anything positive for them. When they won that Super Bowl, I was so like out of my beside myself just for my city because like I know what that meant to people, and I thought my house was probably going to burn down. But like I know how much that meant to that city. Like it's a huge thing that I honestly don't think like I've been alive for Philly winning the World Series. It's not the same thing, man. It's different. So of course Ross wants to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think he's. I shouldn't say I don't think he is. I think he's finally on the path to doing so. But
Big
I think
time. Then why hire anyone? You hire people to run the show. You pay people to run your show.
Right. And when they don't do a good job, you don't continue to employ them. But that's what he did for way too long.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Look, guys, real quick. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to get everybody's final point. Big John, I'm going to bring you back in. I'm going to get your final point here in a second. I want to remind everybody, if you donate $5 or more, we are $25 away from the goal. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5 more people donate $5 or more. You're entered to win a pair of DWA shorts. Okay? And donating to the channel helps the channel grow. So let's donate. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. We're at 38 likes. Can we get to 50 likes before the show's over? Come on, guys. Let's go. All right. I want to get everybody's final thoughts on this. What are your favorite storylines besides Tua? Because that's too easy. That's low-hanging fruit there. Besides Tua, what are your favorite storylines going into training camp? Big John, you go first.
I'm actually going to pick one I don't think many people are going to pick. I honestly think by the end of the season, Jared Dokes will be the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins.
It's a really good storyline in the preseason. I think he's going to be awesome.
That guy is going to be a beast. And since they're playing cover 2 the majority of the year, because last time I checked, football's 11-on-11 still, man. It ain't changed.
Are you sure?
So, well, maybe in Canada, but not here. So
man, shout out to Miami Football Talk with the $25 donations. Here we go. I better win those damn shorts. I love it. I love it, man. I appreciate the love, Miami Football Talk. Got our goal today. All right, Big John, thank you for coming out today, bro. Where can people find you on Twitter?
Big John Stud 007, man.
2 D's at the end of that.
Yep.
You're the man, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for showing love, man.
No problem, man. Anytime. Y'all be good.
Y'all be good. All right, man. Brandon, what is your favorite storyline going into the offseason or going into training camp?
Well, Big John kind of said it for me, but I would have to say, other than the running back situation, I honestly have to say, man, I'm probably most excited the storyline around Jalen Phillips and what he's going to bring to this Miami Dolphins defense on the line. I feel like he's going to really bring a lot of the talent on that line to help everybody excel. And, that's probably the best storyline because he is a superstar in the making, man. And, of course, it really always comes down to health. So I hope he can really stay healthy. I hope they can compete. And we've got a lot of competition in training camp. So, yeah, man, I'm super, super excited for training camp coming up. But I would have to say that's probably my favorite storyline other than the running back position. I would have to say, yeah, it's surrounding myself and surrounding around the storylines behind Jalen Phillips, man, for sure.
Brandon, bro, thank you for coming on while you're at work, man. I'm glad that you listen to us while you work.
Every day, man. Thank you for having me. I love you guys. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Remember, man, share this content, like and subscribe. Just like I'm out here working, he's putting in work too, man. This takes a lot of time and effort to be good at what he does. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon, man. Thank you again.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, brother. Be good. I love you too,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Dude, do we not have like the most awesomest fans in the world, Wade?
I don't know about these delusional Patriots fans and those kind of guys. You know what I mean? I don't get what was the joke? I don't know the show that well. I sound like somebody's.
What?
The one you said I sound like somebody. I don't know the show that well.
Oh, so he said you never saw The Big Bang Theory?
I've seen it, bro, but I don't really know. You know what I mean?
There is a character on there. Oh God, I can't think of his name. Bert. Bert, who from the geology department on Big Bang Theory. He says you sound just like Bert. And he ain't wrong, dude. He ain't wrong at all.
He must be a cool dude. I'm gonna look it up after
this. Cool's a good adjective to use. I don't know if that's the word I would describe Bert, but I do like his character. How about that?
Oh, this is Brian Posen. He writes a lot of the Deadpool comic books. He's a stand-up comedian. He's pretty good.
Oh, see, I knew you would do something like this. I love it. Chef Zhu always doing his thing. What's up, Chef? Chef, I don't see your. Chef Zhu? Did you unsubscribe, bro? I don't see your little thing. Chef, you need to tell me what you did, man. I don't see you signed up, man. What's up? Did you go somewhere? Are you leaving me, Chef? Duke Tomlinson says, fins up. Chef Zhu said, great show today. Super hyped for the season. Chef, you need to help me out, man. Where's your Miami Sports Music YouTube channel stuff at? Coach Flores knows what a Super Bowl roster looks like. Give him more time. Pete says, I wish I had more time to go up there today. Fins up. Let's see. Pete says Wade accepts it.
I don't know if I sound like him. I don't know. I do stand-up comedy, so if I ever get to a career like his level, I'd be happy with that.
Dude, I realized how much money that man makes from like doing the stuff he's done. Like he's rich. Yeah, big time. Great show, fellas. Fins up all day, every day. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
I like it. Trust the process. Sean Tunzel, good show today. Love it. All right, I want to ask you, man, what are Chef Zhu went broke supporting all the shows? Pete said, I hope I wasn't the odd man out, Chef. Chef, man, what's up, bro? Talk to me, man. Don't leave me, Chef. Chef, you're the man, brother. Let's see here. What are your thoughts? What is your favorite storyline going into training camp, Wade?
My favorite? I don't know if I necessarily like any of them. I mean, the ones I'm paying attention to, obviously, the secondary, I think, is probably the biggest one for me. And I'm not just talking about X, right? Like, what happens there will remain to be seen. But Noah taking the next step. I really want to see a lot out of Javon Holland. I was very excited for the Javon Holland pick. So we already talked about running back. Obviously there's the right tackle thing. That's going to be a big one. But also, man, I'm kind of interested to see which one of these pass catchers, like who's going to make the roster, right? And I'm not just talking about, the receivers. I'm talking about the tight ends too. Like with Hunter Long coming in, like I don't think we're going to carry Gesicki, Shaheen, Smythe, and Long throughout the season, right? And I think I don't think there's any way Long doesn't make the roster. They made that pick pretty quick, and they made it pretty early to go get him. So I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see, we talked about this the other week, but out of the next group of receivers outside of the top three, like which receivers do we carry? Hopefully, if we have somebody we're not going to carry, we can, kind of get a draft pick in exchange for them versus just letting them walk. But we'll see.
OGP says, LOL, nah, bro, never that. Still a member on all shows. Chef, I don't see your thing. It said, I'm going to have to go look you up, make sure you're still a member. Because I don't see your little emoji that says you're a member. It says you are just a regular subscriber, sir, and you are the GOAT. You are numero uno, the person who's been in here the longest. Yeah. So I don't know what happened, Chef Zhu. You need to go check that out, my homie. Let's see here. All right. Real quick, I do want to talk about this. So NFL football this year is going to – there's a rumor. There is a very small rumor. And I think that's how it starts, right? That when's the next CBA? Do you know that?
I think it's got like 3 more years.
Okay.
I could be way off, but for some reason, I think it's 3 years.
Somebody said that I read on Twitter on a couple of different places, and I don't have time to go look it up. But they said that that there's a lockout coming after this season. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's on its way?
I don't believe so. I just did a quick search. So I'm on Wikipedia here, and it says NFL owners voted to approve the 2020 to 2030 agreement in February. Okay, so in February last year.
No. So then no.
No.
Because the only thing I can think of is the extra game. And I heard that they're not voting on that for another 2 or 3 years, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, the extra game's in place now. If it's
but they wanted to expand it by 2 and have 2.
Right. They were originally trying to go to 18.
Which I think they will, by the way. That will happen.
I don't have the info on it, man. I wish I could say something. I don't know. I do know a big story that came out, at least I think I'm kind of interested in it, is there's going to be, I think, a further investigation into Daniel Snyder and what's going on in Washington.
Yeah, Washington also announced that they're going to have their name change after the season.
Yep. So they said early 2022. That's what I was getting to. So I'm sure it'll be after the Super Bowl, before the draft, somewhere in that period. But I cannot wait. You know how dumb it is to have a team called the Washington Football Team. I feel bad for the fans.
That's such a soccer thing to say.
I can't believe that the NFL let this guy own the freaking team and not have a name for it. Like, that should have been Donald Sterling level. Like, you would talk about conduct detrimental to the league or whatever it is they scream at these players. You can't even come up with a freaking name. How incompetent. They took Eddie DeBartolo's team from him, which, by the way, that's a side story. For those you don't know who Eddie DeBartolo is, he used to
go look him up.
Or the 49ers, jeez. Eddie DeBartolo used to own the 49ers. Long story short, you guys can read it for yourself and make an opinion, but there was a court case and some embezzlement stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the judge that was involved actually just died like yesterday or something like that. It was in the news. But anyway, Washington's going to have a name. All we know for sure is that it's not going to be the Warriors. They said they're going to.
They're staying away from Native American links.
Yeah.
You know,
for some reason, a lot of people keep requesting the name Sentinels. I think that sounds just as dumb. I don't get it.
Well, that's because that was the team in the football movie with Keanu Reeves.
Right, but
the replacements.
Does it sound good to you?
I'm not saying I haven't watched it a million times or anything. It wasn't, I do like that movie. Washington Pigskins. No, I don't think that. I think it's going to be the Washington Renegades because they're going to keep the R.
That ain't bad because the old helmet had the R. But you know what? I think you got a shot here. Do something cool, like change the colors up. They got some more bland.
I would have said the Washington Red Wolves.
Yeah, that was a name that was getting thrown around a lot. Well, there's some guy. Some guy went, like, when they first announced they were getting rid of Redskins, he basically trademarked like every possible name.
He did.
He did something weird, but yeah, he has the rights to like all of it. So I mean,
and the websites too.
And by the way, Washington has a really good team. Like, they're still a couple pieces away, but I think they're going to hands down win the NFC East again. And what that offense has and the young tight end,
Fitzpatrick is going to take them to the playoffs.
Dude, well, they were there last year, and they didn't have a quarterback. But listen, I've drooled over this guy time and time again. Terry McLaurin is one of the most underrated players in the league, and I think he truly could make the leap as the league's best receiver in the near future. But they're really just a quarterback away from potentially being a contender. The defense is so good. A couple years ago, I think it was 2019, I went and I held the flag on the field for the national anthem for the Dolphins-Redskins game. Right, the game where we went for the 2-point conversion, did the bubble screen, stupid thing to Kenyon Drake, and lost the game. When you do that, you walk, right on the sidelines, like right by these guys. And Montez Sweat for the Redskins looked like a freak amongst other professional NFL players, bro.
Dude is humongous.
He's insane. You got Chase Young. They're building a really good young team out there, man. So keep an eye on that. It might be that they want to do this rebrand when they draft a quarterback next year and do it all together, a new name, a new quarterback.
You know what's funny? I have a few Chase Young rookie cards with the Washington Redskins logo on it.
That's beautiful.
I know. Well, I hope he balls out, becomes a Hall of Famer, and that card is worth millions one day. That's what I hope.
Listen, I'm gonna be very clear about this. Until you come up with a new name, you're the Redskins. You want to change? Fine, change. You didn't do that. You just took the name of like. Imagine being a fan of their team, and it's funny.
The Red Tail, Sean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's funny you say that because I live. Stevens been here. The highway right by my house is the Tuskegee Airmen Memorial Highway, I-70. But listen, until you come up with a new name, but you imagine being a fan and like you have the number one. You guys get Chase Young. You can't buy.
And you rebrand. And you rebrand to the Washington football team.
Right? Like what? Are you kidding me?
Look, Sean, I actually think they should change their name to that. The Washington Red Tails would be awesome. Here's my issue. So, you guys, look, I don't get into politics on this channel in any way, shape, and form, and I'm not going to now. But what I will say, okay, we're not on this channel. But what I will say, when it comes to these teams changing their moniker or their nicknames or whatever you want to call it to something that is deemed less racist, and I put that in quotation marks.
Like I said, deemed.
Yes, I believe that they should still keep the reference to the Native American. Like, I think, like, pay homage to the Native Americans. If that's the reason you're going to change it to something that still honors them. Like the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, they're talking about changing their name to the Cleveland Spiders. And again, like,
why would you want to be a Spider?
Well, that was the original names back in the day.
Here's the thing with this, Steve. I think for those of you that don't really pay attention to stuff outside of Miami, this is the reason this is a big controversy is because, and someone made a comment here, and again, I'm not going to get into the politics side, but they were kind of right about like a lot of the people there were people protesting it, but then there were actual tribes and stuff that they asked, and they were like, no,
they
we
weren't
actually see
upset.
this is like a badge of honor, and they're like, so. And here's the other thing too. For those you don't know American history, like people look at Native Americans like they're one group of people. That'd be like me saying everyone that lives in New Jersey is the same as everyone that lives in Oregon. Like, so like they're not. You know what I mean? So like people.
Flipside Fisher brings up a really good point. Why not Washington Warriors and give tribute to Native Americans?
Here's why. This is what I'm getting to. So I agree with you. I think that would be cool, right? And
because Vikings in their history books are considered. They were considered rapists and
all these big pirates. We have the Raiders.
Look, if you're going to start getting that funky, that's the word. That's the best word I can use. If you're going to start getting that, hey, let's break this down to its like everything's going to be offensive.
Right. So here's why they're not doing that. This is kind of the point I was getting to. They're tired. Mark said it right here, right? Mark Angelo on the bottom, like. Everybody gets so pissy about every little thing now, right? When like they're going to pick a name that no one can possibly bitch and complain about, and even so, they'll name themselves Red Wolves, and freaking Peter's going to get involved with it and fight 100. Like, but no, and that's really it. Like these companies, like they're not out to. Well, no, we're going to stand by our goal. They're out to be like, all right, how can we get the least amount of emails possible so we can focus on what we got to do here, which is try to trade up in the first round and get a quarterback for them next year. So they'll pick something generic. It won't be cool. It won't be fun. They'll have a dumb logo that every high school in the country is going to copy. It just is what it is, and it sucks. Yeah. And listen, I'm all for. Like, I'm not one of those people that like, oh, no, you've always been the Dolphins. You always have to be the Dolphins. If the team came up with something cool and rechanged it, something like that, I'm not necessarily going to be, all up in arms. We'll see what it is. If it's something stupid, maybe I will be. You know what I mean? But there's people complaining, well, it's tradition, it's blah, blah, blah. Why are you changing it? Hey, how about this is a cool time for us to still be fans, add a piece to our history with like, hey, we used to wear these colors. We used to have these jerseys. We used to blah, blah, blah. Now we have a new logo, new colors, new gear, whatever the hell it is. But, you can't please everybody. You just can't. I mean,
because I believe that most teams do it because it's a money grab, right? Like we didn't change our jerseys because people didn't like what we were wearing. We changed our logo and jerseys because it was a way for the team to make more money. You call it what you want. That's exactly what it was. And for years, the Dolphins fans have been clamoring, go back to the old logo. Go back to the old logo. Go back to the old logo. The only reason it was ever done is because it was a way for the Miami Dolphins to make more money.
Well, it's kind of a sign of the times too. Like, look at the NBA, and I'm going to make a point here, but like, look at what the NBA did in the '90s with all their logos.
Yeah,
they were all like cartoonified. They had that '90s kind of style, and we kind of did the same thing. Like, if you look at our jerseys prior to the current iteration of logo, back when we had the which Dolphin is
this one right here. Right.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
It is my favorite
jerseys
one, by the way.
They were a different color. They were like shiny. You know what I mean?
I loved it. I want us to go back to that so bad.
Well, hey, I like having all the options. Like, I like being like, hey, let's wear these one game. Let's
And you know what I would love? You know what I would kill for? Miami Vice colors for the Dolphins. Give me that, bro. I'm here for it all day.
This is a tough one for me because,
and I want black, pink, and that whatever, that blue light, whatever you call it.
This is tough for me because that's not what we traditionally do in the NFL, right? And they do stuff like that. In the NFL, you can wear a throwback of your old colors, but you typically completely change the color. You don't just have one random set of jerseys with a different color. Like the color rush jerseys are, you take your secondary color and use it as a primary color. You don't just get like a whole new set or whatever it is. And even if we did, I like the Miami Vice thing when the Heat did it. I like the Jordans, they made all that other stuff. I don't know if it's good for football, man. I hate black.
There's a lot of fans that don't agree with me, and that's fine. Yeah. That's your prerogative. But I would love to see black pink jerseys for the Dolphins. I think they'd be dope as hell.
I would like to see us use. I would like to see an orange jersey more, and it could be the one we were a couple years ago, the color rush one.
No, not the color rush one with the new logo. Those were god awful ugly. No, the ones that we had with the old logo, the logo that I have on my arm, those were dope.
The problem with that uniform wasn't the jersey; it was that the entire outfit was orange. Like, if you had aqua pants or white pants or something, it would look better. But I also don't like that we wear all white like all the time. When you're wearing a white jersey, wear the aqua pants. You know what I mean? Like, but in most of our home games, we wear completely white. I don't know why. Like, wear the aqua pants with the white jerseys. I like the throwback jerseys, the current jerseys. We can mix in the '90s jerseys. The ones that those ones we tried out in the early 2000s. They were the dark blue, like the They were like the shadow of the dolphin. Blue. That was kind of a swing and a miss. I don't know what that was about.
There is a blue dark blue jersey that I have of Jason Taylor, but they never played in that jersey. But I know a lot of people have it.
They've done weird stuff. Like, there was a storm thing the NFL did the other year where everyone had like a gray jersey. They did there's military looking ones. I got a bunch of random stuff. But listen, if we had an orange one in rotation. We had the two throwbacks that we have now. We have our regular two home outfits, and we could still be down to fit in one of those '90s to what was it, 2014 jersey. Like, we'd have a way to do that. But we could fit all that stuff in. We play 17 games a year now. And the NFL looks like they're finally loosening up a little bit on those rules, but we'll see what happens.
Shout out to the newest member, Chef Jew. I don't know what happened, Chef. But you're back, baby. You're back. You were only gone for, 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know what happened when you started the show, you remember. And then by the end of the show, you weren't. So I don't know what happened, Chef, but you're back. And I appreciate the love, big homie.
Hey, Chris Johnson, is this real? If you dress like a Native American at the Cleveland Indian Stadium, you'll be banned?
I believe it.
What's so crazy in this country is, like, if you actually look at some of the laws that are going on in these Native American reservations, it's so crazy. I don't think a lot of people even know that they're right there, and like they're not.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Keep talking. Give me 1 second.
No, because of the kind of the treaties and stuff that were made back in the day, like Native American reservations have their own governments. So like they literally prosecute their own way. They have their own laws. Like the local jurisdiction cannot come in there and get it. It's really kind of crazy. But I don't know where Stephen went and where it's going to be at. So we're talking about jerseys. I see somebody was here talking about they had the dark blue Jason Taylor jersey. I had, I think, a Ricky Williams back in the day. NorCal, what's up? NorCal's talking about the orange, the shiny orange ones we had. I think I had a Zach Thomas one of those laying around somewhere. But if you go back and look at those laws and stuff like that, or the jerseys and stuff, they had this like shiny thing to them that is gone now. Delusional Patriots fan. In Tennessee, slavery is technically illegal. Yeah, it is anywhere in the federal United States. It was a constitutional amendment.
All right, hey. Yo, I definitely came back at the right time. I had to go do this. So here is the Ricky jersey.
Yep. So I have a Zach Thomas one of them. NorCal was just talking about him here. He has that.
I know, that's why I saw it. That's why I went out and got it. This is my favorite jersey of all time. And then this is the one that they never wore.
No, they wore those. Yeah, that's what
they never wore these.
No, we wore them.
When did they wear these?
Ricky Williams jersey.
When did they ever wear this jersey?
Let me get you a date.
I don't think they ever wore that jersey, bro.
It was the early 2000s.
That just fell on the floor. Guys, didn't I say no politics on the channel? You're killing me, Smalls.
You said you don't talk them. They started it. I'm trying to find like a date that we actually used them. I remember it was the early 2000s because I remember where I was living when I bought mine. You have to talk amongst yourselves. You don't have to just wait for me.
Well, I'm reading the comments, honestly.
Okay.
Yours looks way better than mine. They never wore that jersey in a game, but it was an alternate. I'm telling you, they never wore it, bro. They never wore that jersey, ever.
Weird.
Sean says, yes, they did wear those blue jerseys. All right, well, look, that's what we need to find out. When did they wear it?
So, hang on here. I'm reading the history of it, and it goes from 97 to 2009. And this was definitely before that.
They never wore that jersey.
They missed this one.
I need a game. I need a date and a game. Y'all let me know when they wore that blue jersey, because I don't think they ever wore it. I know it was something that they sold the hell out of, but they never wore them in a game.
Well, I know we wore the orange ones.
The orange ones, yes. I'm talking about the navy blue one. NorCal, you think they wore it in a game in 2002?
That sounds about right. I was thinking like 2003. So, how many idiots does it take to find the answer?
The question is no one. I mean, the answer is no one.
There's an article on the Finsider, and it says the Miami Dolphins hideously beautiful orange alternate jerseys.
All right, Jeff Shue says they never wore the navy blue, just sold them. Irving said they were just merchandise. Irving says they never wore the blue jersey. I'm telling you, they never wore it, people.
We need an answer to this. Someone have an official answer for next week.
I'm telling you, like they're giving you it. It didn't happen.
Sounds very official.
Well, I said it, so I made it official. It's my show. So if I say it's official, it's official.
Can't argue with that.
I do what I want. Bro, I had a good time hanging out with you today, man. This was fun.
For sure, man. I think I might go buy one of these blue jerseys.
They're fire. They are fire. Okay. They are definitely fire.
Anyway.
Are you I guess the next time you're gonna come down so people know is week 2? The next time you're gonna be in Miami?
Oh, home game, yeah, absolutely.
No training camp, no preseason, right?
No, training camp's gonna be kind of weird this year anyway. Hey, here's some news. I just looked at my phone for the first time. Apparently, the Sixers are opening up trade talks about Simmons.
Nobody cares about the Philadelphia 76ers except for you, Wade. Nobody. I didn't like the Color Rush orange jersey, Steven. It's Stephen D. official. That's right, NorCal. You tell him. I love it. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. Also, just want to let everybody know, for those of you who don't know, my brother has an official Ricky Williams navy blue jersey. I wish they worn them. Everybody's saying the Mandela effect. I actually just learned about the Mandela effect this weekend. I never knew about it. Did you know? Do you know what that is?
That's the one where you think you see something so much that your brain actually believes it.
So everybody believes that he died back in 90 whatever.
I know they talk about like your memory's actually like historically unreliable. NorCal, buy my ticket. I'll come, brother.
What did NorCal say?
He said I should fly out. NorCal, obviously Northern California. Jeez, I'm going to bed. Obviously, our boy out in Northern California, for those of you who don't know, Mark Angelo runs a fan club out there.
Hey, NorCal, you can buy my ticket too, and I'll come out.
Why not?
And solos.
It's an afternoon game, so we got plenty of time to get there.
Oh man, I love it. I'll start walking now. How about that? All right, look, I'm not answering no more questions. I'm done for the day. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I got stuff to do. I got to get this merger down official, which I think you all are going to love. And then shout out the MVP today goes to my wife. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know she is the real MVP today. You guys got a place to you got a place to stay, guys. That's what. Hey, that's one part of it already done. That's not the most expensive part, though. Dude, next Tuesday, you ready to do this all over again?
Can't wait.
Can't wait. So excited. I love you, brother. You're the man.
You too, man. I'll see you next week.
All right, guys, make sure you guys go like the show, like this stream, subscribe. Irving with the $1.49 donation at the buzzer. My man, Irving. Irving, send me your address, and I'm going to send you a couple of stickers. My man, where are they at? Where are they at? Yes, NorCal sent me some stickers.
NorCal, where's my stickers, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to send you some stickers, Irving. You always donate, man. You're the man, brother. And we hit our goal of $60 in donations today. And, yeah, let's keep doing it, man. Guys, we want to grow this thing. We want to be big. And we can't do it without your help. So sharing the content helps. Let's make it happen. Pete, I expect you up here next time, Pete. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. All right, Miami Football Talk. I'll give you stickers instead of the shorts. How about that? No, that's not good. All right, man. I'll take care of you. I'll get you some too. All right, bro. Y'all be good. Don't do if where can you email me? VP V as in Vice President VP Miami Sports Music, all one word. VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com. Irving VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com. Yeah, where's mines? Stephen D. I'll hit up later. Hey, I'm gonna need some more of these stickers, NorCal. It looks like I need you to send me some more stickers. I'm getting hit up. All right, y'all be good. Have fun. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30, right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Let's go.